And we're here on the second weekend of 2022 for the 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie Final. Confused, we'll go through that in a while, but it's the meeting of Gailltír and St. Rynagh, Wterford against Offaly, and Elaine of the previous meeting 22 months ago in the 2019 final in March 2020 is anything to go by. We're guaranteed for a very, very entertaining hour here.
Absolutely, Darren. It's like something of the Matrix there when you try and work out all the years and the stats. But at the end of the day, these two teams have been the top two teams in the intermediate grade for the last couple of years, and they're no strangers to one another. I suppose anyone that remembers that 2020 game in March 2020 with that last minute goal for Gailltír. So, I suppose Rynagh will have spent 22 long months maybe thinking about that goal, and, will bring a bit of that hurt today. So certainly they've been really close encounters the last couple of times they've met. So I expect nothing different here today.
Indeed, they met in the 2018 semi-final as well, but as you mentioned, Gailltír, Una Jackman with the goal on that occasion, but many players not there with them now this year. Una, Trish Jackman as well, Anya Ling, just three of the four key personnel that are not involved. Margot Heffernan, the captain, is back available after being out injured as well, but is it changing of the guard of Gailltír, you'd feel?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and the names you mentioned, they're huge experience, not just for Gailltír but for Wterford. Anya Ling and Trish Jackman have been stalwarts of Wterford Camogie for many years, and we're stalwarts of that Gailltír team. But look, I suppose some of the younger girls stepping up are coming with huge calibre behind them. They've had great success with Wterford underage and with the Ursuline and Wterford schools camogie, so they're carrying that, and I suppose they're growing into that momentum a little bit, and they've won some really tight games, be it in Wterford and throughout Munster this year, so growing in confidence and in experience.
The Waterford camogie has been picking up. We've seen it on the inter-county scene as well with their recent quarter-final appearances, but as you mentioned, some of those young players as well, like Annie and Aoife Fitzgerald cousins, 2 of 5 cousins on the Gailltír team as well, plenty of experience behind them as well, well capable of doing damage.
Absolutely. Look, they're a really formidable outfit up front especially, but they work very hard, and they make it very hard for opposition defenders to get out with good ball, and I suppose that's key on a day like today. I know it's a fabulous pitch here today, but still it's cold, the hands are going to be cold. Any missed touches, they're well capable of punishing them up front, and they're great score getters, be it from play or from place ball.
Gailltír, of course, are the reigning All-Ireland champions. If they win, they get promoted to senior camogie. That's a conversation for later on. St. Rynagh have proved they're one of the top 2 teams in the country, have lacked goals their last 2 meetings with Gailltír, something they're going to need to correct today. Yeah,
absolutely. And look, when you look at that full forward line with Kate Kenny in there and Siobhan Flannery, you would feel there's probably goals in there to be got, but they just haven't been able to get them against Gailltír the last couple of years. I suppose that's probably down to the work rate of Gailltír, and that's where maybe Margot Heffernan's absence, if she doesn't make the starting 15 today coming back from that injury, might be felt in around the Gailltír square. She's huge experience in on the edge of the square, so if she's missing, maybe Rynagh will see that as an opportunity to get an early goal and maybe ask some questions of that Gailltír defence.
Both teams are impressive winners in the semi-finals. You touched on already. Gailltír beating Clarenbridge, St. Rynagh beating English from Tyrone as well. 3-15 to 1-3. Massive score without Siobhan Flannery in the day too. Mairead Daly didn't play in the All-Ireland in Croke Park in March 2020. She's back in the team and well capable of getting goals.
Yeah, look, Rynagh have a huge wealth of experience, I suppose. Look, you look down through the team list and there's a load of names you recognise from Offaly camogie teams, and they've been making steady progress at senior grade as well, so they'll be looking to draw on all that experience today. And as you said, a couple of dual players among them as well, so fitness, a bit of physicality there today. I expect a really physical battle, and that will surely stand to Rynagh at some stage of the game.
We expect it to go to the final puck of the game. What way do you reckon it's going to go?
Absolutely to the final puck of the game, no different than it did in Croke Park 22 months ago. Look, I just think maybe Rynagh are carrying that little bit extra hurt from 22 months ago, and they've had it fester maybe for the last couple of years at this stage, and I think maybe that hurt might be enough just to get them over the line today.
Will St. Rynagh get over the line? Will we do it all again in a replay? We'll find out over the next hour or so. Myself and Elaine will be in the commentary box for the 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie Final coming up in a few minutes' time, but first let's hear from the respective managers. We join up with the Gailltír manager Orla Murphy. And Orla, long wait for the chance to retain the title, but thankfully your team are here.
Yeah, thankfully, long old wait now. I suppose with the circumstances of things that happened with COVID and everything, we were shut down, and 2020 All-Ireland then has only been played today in 2022, which is a bit bizarre, but we're here and we're looking forward to it.
How have preparations been going, as you mentioned COVID as well, in the back of everyone's mind leading up to the match?
Particularly lately, I suppose they have to be very vigilant as to what they were doing, where they were going, looking after themselves, and tried to avoid it at all costs. But the girls did it. They looked after themselves, and they stayed safe, thank God. So
an opportunity for some new players as well. Well documented, some of the players that you had in Croke Park in March 2020 not with you anymore as well, but there's good young talent coming up based on the Féile win from a few years ago.
That's true. Yeah, we're actually down 3 of our senior players from the 2019 final. Anya Ling, Emma Hannon, Trish Jackman, Una Jackman isn't with us, but we have the likes of Maeve Sheridan and Alana O'Sullivan after coming up into the fore now, and they're really showing.
Orla, finally, Margot Heffernan, will she start?
We wait and see.
Wait, see. Orla, very, very best luck. Thanks a million.
No problem. Thanks a million.
That was the Gailltír manager, Orla Murphy. We couldn't get anyone from St. Rynagh at the start of the game, but what you're looking at your screen at the moment is the referee, Gavin Donegan from Dublin, the man in the middle for this game with the two respective captains, as Margot Heffernan on the left lane. We still haven't been given official confirmation that she's starting, but we are expecting that she's going to take her position at full back.
Yeah, look, Margot's a huge player for Gailltír and has been for many years, a real leader in that defence there. And, I know she was training prior to their semi-final, but I suppose they didn't have to risk her on that occasion. But look, today is a day that you're going to risk everything, I suppose, and chance everything. So if she's fit to play, I'm sure she'll play a part at some stage.
Gráinne Dolan, the number 6 on the right, is the St. Rynagh captain, of course. Emma Corcoran was the captain, wing back the last time they played in the All-Ireland final. A very, very strong breeze here in Semple Stadium, blown to the right as we look at it in the camera. The rain is coming down as well. Definitely is going to make this a real battle that we are expecting. We will run through the two teams as we have them at the moment. We'll start with Gailltír. As St. Brian is on the screen at the moment, we look at Gailltír. Ciara Jackman in goal, a full back line of 2, Maeve Sheridan, 3, Hannah Flynn, and 4, Aoife Hartley. 5 is Leah Sheridan, 6, Clodagh Carroll, and 7, Emily Mahoney. In midfield were number 8, Kate Lynch, partnered with number 9, Shauna Fitzgerald. The half forward line, 10, Anne Corcoran, 11, Ciara O'Sullivan, 12 is the vice captain, Annie Fitzgerald, and the inside line, top of the right, number 13, Roisin Flood, full forward, number 14, Aoife Fitzgerald, top of the left were number 15, Alana O'Sullivan. But Elaine, as we mentioned already, we expect Margot Heffernan to take one of those jerseys.
Yeah, you'd expect Margot, if she's playing, to slot in maybe at full back there and see Hannah maybe move out to the corner. But look, a really established team in Gailltír. Clodagh Carroll has really established herself this year, both with Gailltír and with Wterford, so expect to have her to have a huge influence at centre back.
The St. Rynagh team are 1 to 15. One change from the team to beat Egley. Siobhan Flannery coming back to the side. They line out as follows. In goal number 1, Ellen Gilligan. Full back line 2, the vice captain Sinead Moran. 3, Elaine Sullivan. And 4 is Maeve Doorley. Half back line were number 5, Emma Corcoran. Centre back number 6, the captain, as you saw already, Gráinne Dolan. And 7 is Katie O'Connell. In midfield number 8, Helen Dolan. Partner number 9, Roisin Egan. The half forward line 10, Linda Sullivan. 11, Sinead Hannamy. And 12 is Mairead Daly. And the inside line of Eva McLaughlin, 13, Kate Kenny, 14, Siobhan Flannery, 15. Elaine, plenty of talent, especially in the attack.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, and if you talk about strong centres on a team, Elaine Sullivan, Gráinne Dolan, Kate Kenny up the centre there, and a really formidable midfield there with Helen Dolan and Roisin Egan. So that's a huge battle. I suppose Kate Lynch and Shauna Fitzgerald on the other side for Gailltír. There'll be 4 really important players for both their teams, and I think whoever can get on top there today maybe will have a big say in the outcome.
St. Rynagh have been knocking on the door. They made their breakthrough in Offaly a couple of years ago as well. 5 titles in a row, put themselves in this position as well. A massive day for themselves too. Great work being done there, of course. They're managed by former Galway manager Mark Dunn.
Yeah, Mark Dunn and Molly obviously in there and have been with them for a couple of years, and I think that's really important, consistency. When they finally made the breakthrough in Offaly, they've been super competitive there, and as you said, have won 5 in a row, I think it is, in Offaly, and 3 Leinsters. So I suppose the All-Ireland is the one that really has escaped them so far, and they'll be looking to make amends for that today.
As we said in the preview too, Gailltír also bring their threats as well. We're expecting a close contest the whole way through. But I suppose individual matchups and what we know of these players as well, no doubt there'll be great battle around the midfield. Both half-back lines are very, very strong as well. But it's the big name players that really need to step up. Yeah,
I suppose, look, on a day like today, scores are going to be so crucial and maybe scarce to come by given the conditions. It's very, very cold down pitch side. The rain is blowing sideways at times when it's blowing down there. So control and first touch is going to be huge. So look, I suppose a goal will be a massive score. As you said, Rhinos have struggled maybe in previous encounters to get that goal against Gailltír, whereas on the other side Gailltír got that all important one, I suppose, beating the 60 whatever minute it was in that last encounter. But a goal will be a massive score today, and look, there's some really standout players up front on both teams that you'll be looking to maybe try and get that goal. Kate Kenny from Rynagh and Siobhan Flannery is always a threat inside there, and on the other side, Anne Corcoran has been in really fine form for Gailltír throughout this campaign and is well capable of stepping up with a goal up front for them. So as I said, I think a goal could be a huge score in today's game.
There's a great atmosphere there at the far side of the field. We're just looking at St. Rynagh in the huddle at the moment, but as spectators are working their way in there, I say the sun is out, the rain is out, the wind is out. You'd know well it's January.
Yeah, a bit of a rainbow over the side there as well. So a little bit of mix of everything. But look, I think that's what the players look. We've had a mixed bag the last couple of weeks, and I think they're just, both teams are probably just happy to be here and playing a championship that they maybe thought was never going to get played. So I don't think conditions will bother them too much. Obviously, you'd expect it to have a bit of an impact on the game. You know, Ciara Jackman has a massive puck out for Gailltír, and if she has that breeze behind her, she's certainly going to be putting them on the attack from puck outs. But look, as I said, conditions are going to be the same for both teams. It's going to be tough, but you'd expect nothing else in a All-Ireland final where the teams have met twice already.
You mentioned Ciara Jackman as well. We might be talking about the goal here at the moment. She'll have the hot water bottle in the goal anyway. Definitely her bag of tricks.
Yeah, I think I saw it going in under the stand there earlier to be filled up just before the throw-in. So, you know, I suppose when you're on the goal, you'll do everything you can to keep warm maybe, and if you're out of maybe action for a couple of minutes, and they won't be long getting the hands getting cold there today. So if it's a hot water bottle it takes, she's more than willing to do it.
Just for viewers that wouldn't be aware too, like Gailltír are going for their second consecutive All-Ireland intermediate title as well. And of course in Camogie, in order to get promoted at the county at club level, you have to win it 2 years in a row. Gailltír could have a Munster senior semi-final against Inniscarra or Scarvagunno next week.
Yeah, look, if you thought the years were confusing and what All-Ireland Championship we're playing, the next round of confusion comes with where Gailltír will be playing next weekend. But yeah, as reigning champions, if Gailltír win here today, and similar to Clanmorris tomorrow in the junior final, if they win they'll be gone up intermediate. So you could have a case of Clanmorris and Gailltír both in the intermediate championship next weekend, or a case where they're both gone up. So, you know, I suppose that won't bother either of them too much this weekend. They'll be focusing on today and getting a result, and they'll worry about what comes next weekend then.
The Munster Intermediate Camogie draw is taking place on Monday. We'll keep an eye on that other game between Inniscarra and Scarvagunno for our Gailltír viewers, especially if it does come into play. St. Rynagh, as we talked already about a lack of scoring goals, they also have to stop conceding goals. They conceded 4 goals in their 2 matches with Gailltír already. A strong spine down the middle, Elaine Sullivan, and the captain, of course, Grania Dolan, who's partnered by Emma Corcoran, and the lively Katie O'Connell, well capable of getting up the field as well. Like, they have to be on form.
Yeah, look, that's a really formidable half-back line, and they will need to be on top. As we said, Gailltír have numerous scoring threats up front, so it'll be important for St. Rynagh that if they can stop them at source and maybe stop them creating anything in that inside line, and a lot of that will come down to that half-back line today.
Well, the formalities are nearly over. We're about 2 minutes away from throw-in. St. Rynagh have been in the huddle there, and Gailltír just lining themselves up the moment. Ron V no doubt will play beforehand as well. Gailltír from Wterford against St. Rynagh from Offaly. As Elaine, you mentioned too, the first of 2 live games we have this weekend on the official Camogie YouTube channel, brought to you in association with Entry. Tomorrow you'll be with Killian Whelan for the junior final, and another cracking contest this could be. They went to a replay last time they met in the 2019 final, which actually took place in 2019. Clanmorris from Kerry against Rynagh from Westmeath.
Yeah, another super game to look forward to tomorrow, and similar to today's game, you know, 2 teams with a little bit of a rivalry, a little bit of experience. As you said, that drawing game where Rynagh will feel they probably left it behind them. They were ahead coming down the closing straight, but for a late point from Jessica Fitzgerald, I think, at the time, and you know, Clanmorris went on then to win that replay, and you know, Kerry Camogie going from strength to strength on the back of it. So you know, they have their own backstory coming into the final with their semi-final win with just 14 players. So as I said, another huge game tomorrow and another really close encounter.
A game that takes place in Moyne Temple Tui, a GA club at 2 o'clock tomorrow. We'll have it live here on the Camogie Association YouTube channel, but we're here for the intermediate final, and first we have a Ron Naveen. And St. Rynagh from County Offaly win their first ever All-Ireland intermediate title. Or will it be Gailltír from Waterford complete back-to-back and move up to senior Camogie? We're about to find out over the next hour or so. There will be no extra time. This game will go to a replay if they finish all square after the 60-plus minutes. And Elaine, I would not be one bit surprised if you and me are talking again in a replay next week.
Absolutely no surprise, which will, I'm sure, upset Munster Camogie Council if they're trying to make fixtures for next weekend and we're here for a replay. But as I said, look, both Rynagh and Gailltír won't care about that today. There's there's one game in front of them, and as you said, the last two encounters have been so close. They've gone right down to the wire, nothing more than a score between them, and I expect it to be absolutely no different coming down the home straight today. There'll be no one home and host until they're going up the steps to collect that cup.
Gailltír have the win in the first half. They will attack the goal to the right. Everyone to get themselves in position. We're having a look around for Margot Heffernan to see where she lines up. Should she line up? There is a few positional switches around there. Elaine will go through them in just a moment too. Elaine, have you seen her or seen any major changes?
Yeah, it looks like Margot Heffernan isn't starting. I think she's just taking her place on the subs bench there. Siobhan Flannery, I think I saw with a top on her just before the throw-in, so I don't see her in the Rynagh forward line. So a couple of, as you said, personnel changes, and I'm sure a couple of positional switches that will come to as the game develops.
The sun is out. We are getting ready. Gailltír in the sky blue and navy jerseys, the blue and yellow of St. Rynagh from County Offaly. It's a repeat of the 2019 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie final. The referee is Gavin Dunnigan from County Dublin. The ball is thrown in. The game is on. Oh, actually, I thought the ball was thrown in. The referee not ready to go yet, so we're going to pause that. He's not happy with something and heading back. I don't know if there's an issue with a watcher, but either way, we're going to start that again.
Actually, I just see Kate Lynch from Gailltír gone in full back for Gailltír. Looks like she's picking up Kate Kenny on the edge of the square in there. So it's the first of positional changes with Leah Sheridan gone to the middle of the field to take her place there.
Leah Sheridan in the middle of the park as well. Looks like she's joined by Ciara O'Sullivan as well. Or actually, no, she's not. It's Shauna Fitzgerald. So it will be a few. Both teams know each other very, very well. It might be 22 months since they last played each other. And we're still waiting. I don't know if there's an issue with a watch or something, Elaine, but I don't see Gavin Dunnigan at all. Has he gone into the tunnel? He's come back out anyway. So the referee, we're going to do this a second time of asking. You can hear the cheers for the match official, the far side of the field. We thought the game was up and underway. If you started your stopwatches, our apologies. You'll have to do it all again. We'll do the same here in our live commentary on the Camogie Association YouTube page, brought to you in association with Entry. The ball is thrown in. The game is on. The second time of asking. And for the third time in as many championships, it's Gailltír against St. Rynagh, and it's Ciara O'Sullivan sends the ball down towards the attack, towards Annie Fitzgerald. Annie Fitzgerald with the ball there, just outside the 20-metre line, looks for a shot at the post, puts the ball over the bar. No wasting time. I believe 15 seconds into the game. The first score, it's Gailltír 1, St. Rynagh no score.
Yeah, and a nice ball won in the middle of the field there by Gailltír, and they really great ball in, and you could see Roisin Egan going back towards her own goal there. She's obviously going to play as a kind of a loose player back there for Rynagh, but Gailltír with a really super start and a really quick score on the board.
Gailltír applying the pressure as Aoife Fitzgerald has the ball. She'll go for a shot at the post, and already it's 2-0. We haven't even played 40 seconds in a perfect start. The Fitzgerald cousins off the mark, 2-0 Gailltír.
Yeah, and look, that puck out for Rynagh is going to be so important now. She's pucking into the face of a really strong breeze, so they're going to have to try and win possession, because if Gailltír can stop in their half forward line, they're well capable of scoring then to punish you.
St. Rynagh need to be very careful. They nearly lost the ball there, but Emma Corcoran has possession in the white helmet on her own 45-metre line, finds a teammate, moving it down the left channel here underneath the shade of the old stand in Semple Stadium. The captain, Gráinne Dolan, gives the ball off for the number 8, who is Helen Dolan, and Helen Dolan moves towards the opposing 45-metre line, and this is the first opportunity of the game for St. Rynagh to make something happen, but not to be, says the centre-back for Gailltír, Clodagh Carroll, who won the ball, but they haven't cleared the danger area yet, and Gailltír do get it up towards Emily Mahoney, a cousin of Porrick and Philip Mahoney, playing for Ballygunner. They have a Munster final on Sunday. A big weekend for many families in Gaelic games, both hurling and camogie, but Gailltír looking for back-to-back All-Ireland titles, and they bring it out towards the 65-metre line again, and players just back, so the pass goes wary into Elaine Sullivan, and Elaine Sullivan with possession didn't get the connection on that she wanted, but she did find the teammate. The teammate is Emma Corcoran, and Emma Corcoran goes in the run again, looks up, sends it in towards the attack, and this could be a chance for St. Rynagh to try and get off the mark. The bright boots is the number 14, Kate Kenny. She got 9 points for St. Rynagh in the semi-final victory over English from Tyrone. As a player on the ground, it appears to be the referee has says a foul committed by St. Rynagh. It's going to be a free out for Gailltír. Yeah,
and you'd expect a huge battle in on the edge of the square there between Kate Lynch and Kate Kenny. A role that Kate Lynch has played for Wterford throughout last year's championship for them. A man-marking job in on the edge of the square. So she's a really tight, tenacious defender, and she'll be ably assisted then by Clodagh Carroll coming in to pick up the loose ball. So that's something that Rynagh may look at, maybe moving Kate Kenny out if they can't get enough ball into her.
Ciara Jackman took the free. She did get a point against Turles Sarsfields in the Munster final. The referee says too many steps against the Gailltír number 10, who is Anne Corcoran. So St. Rynagh's are going to get a free out. We have played nearly 3 minutes of this 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie final. Gailltír 2 points. St. Rynagh's no score. As you can see in the top right of your screen, in the green helmet for St. Rynagh's is Roisin Egan, a dual star. Takes a low free down the left, down in the direction of Aoife McLaughlin, but not to be for Aoife because it's won by Aoife Hartley, one of the young players that have broken into the Gailltír team. Indeed, she was playing minor camogie in 2021. Roisin Egan on the move again, goes off. Well, the linesperson says that it's a Gailltír ball. I think St. Rynagh's feel it should be for themselves due to the Gailltír player touched it. What are your thoughts, Elaine?
Yeah, I thought it was a super flick out of Anne Corcoran. To be fair, I thought she blocked the ball really, really well and put it straight out over the line. So I'm not sure if Liz Dempsey saw something else closer to it there, but it is a Gailltír ball.
It is a Gailltír ball, and it's going to be taken by Shauna Fitzgerald. Shauna Fitzgerald doesn't get too far, but finds Aoife. There are cousins as well. I'll tell you the other two cousins in a few moments, but a dangerous ball down towards the St. Rynagh's full back line, and Elaine Sullivan, wearing the number 3 jersey, but playing more as a corner back, is the far side of where she started. She started in the left corner, finds the teammate, that's Roisin Egan, and Roisin Egan gets the pass off in the direction of Emma Corcoran, but Emma Corcoran loses possession. Gailltír and their Wterford supporters are here in full force, getting behind their team, but St. Rynagh's have the ball back, bringing it up towards the 65-metre line, but Grania Dolan couldn't bring it with herself. The battles, the individual battles, the 50-50 battle is going to be so important in this game as Aoife McLaughlin goes in a run for St. Rynagh's inside the 65-metre line, the far side of the field, looking for Kate Kenny. Can Kate Kenny win the race to this ball? The Gailltír defence are defiant. Emily Mahoney wins it, finds a teammate, and the danger is cleared out towards the middle of the field, though Helen Dolan will take possession back for St. Rynagh's, sending it down the field. A bit of tennis at the moment. Shauna Fitzgerald with possession on the 65-metre line, tries to find Ciara O'Sullivan. Ciara O'Sullivan is the fourth of those 5 cousins. To finish it off, Emily Mahoney, Ciara O'Sullivan and 3 Fitzgeralds. They're the 5 cousins playing for Gailltír. As St. Rynagh's sent a long ball down looking to gain territory, but Clodagh Carroll wins it, doesn't hold on to it, and St. Rynagh's have an opportunity coming in towards the 20-metre line. The referee has to hand out. We're going to have a free in for St. Rynagh's, and the best chance they've had so far to get their opening score.
Yeah, you just feel they've kind of grown into the game a little bit now since they conceded those 2 early points to Gailltír. You know, they started to win some of the battles in their own half back line here, and they're starting to make it count up front. You know, they turned over that line ball, and now a chance for Kate Kenny to have a shot at the post from a free and get them on the scoreboard.
Kate Kennedy has scored 319 in their last 4 games. St. Rynagh's had a very difficult passage to get through Leinster. 3 away games, but they got the job done. Kate Kenny looking at the post. 5.5 minutes gone here in Semple Stadium in Turles. She takes the free. The umpires like it. It's gone over the bar. It's a 1-point ball game in the All-Ireland final. St. Rynagh's 1, Gailltír 2.
Yeah, and as I said, look, I think Ryan's just starting to find their feet a little bit now at the moment. They have been playing second fiddle to Gailltír from those 2 quick early points, but they seem to have set up nicely at the back now, and they look to transition up and, as I said, try and get more ball into Kate Kenny full forward.
We have to remember as well the wind is favouring Gailltír in the first half, and it is significant enough. So St. Rynagh's will be happy enough how things are going. Number 17 for St. Rynagh's started the game, Louise Mannion. She did start the semi-final against Eglish, and I've just been looking around there, Elaine. I haven't noticed Siobhan Flannery yet. I don't know if you have.
No, Siobhan Flannery hasn't started there today, and it looks like Louise Mannion has started in her place, and you know, a lovely first touch from her there, got down nice and low, got the ball quickly into her hand, won her free, and then had the option of what she wanted to do. So took the free, and now a chance again for Rynagh.
Roisin Egan takes the free, sending it down the left. Got a bit too much purchase on the occasion for Louise Mannion, and it should be won by the defender. And the defender wearing the number 7 jersey is Emily Mahoney, and it finds a teammate, sends it down, but goes out over the line. So it's going to be a sideline cut for St. Rynagh's, somewhere between the opposing 65 and 45 metre line. And you can see the waiting for a ball to come, and Mark Dunn won't be keeping them waiting. Interesting, Mark Dunn looks like he's wearing a Mira Fearon bib, while Molly Dunn looks like she's wearing the Bonishore bib. So the Dunn siblings mixing their roles in this big occasion. Helen Dolan is in the white helmet, wearing number 8 for St. Rynagh's, and she's going to take the sideline cut. The first touch, very, very important as well. They're working their way towards teammates in the green helmet. Battling for the ball was Linda Sullivan. Referee spotted a foul, so it's going to be a free for St. Rynagh's. Might be difficult to go for a long range effort. I don't see Kate Kenny coming out to take this. Roisin Egan is actually going to step up and have a go with this. So this with the sun as well Elaine. This could be a very dangerous ball that might drop in towards Ciara Jackman's goal.
Yeah, this is one Rynagh won't look to score. I think they look to build on it maybe, and Kenny did take a quick look at it but decided then against coming for it.
Did a 1-2 with Mairead Daly in towards the inside line again. Gailltír's full back line have been very, very solid so far. Ciara Jackman, the goalkeeper, has the ball and sends it out the field past the 65-metre line. The drive, and Ciara Jackman gets it to the opposing 65-metre line, but Helen Dolan is the first to win the race for St. Rynagh. Moves down the field, sends it in towards the attack again. St. Rynagh looking to get back and level scores, but Gailltír just showing their experience. This is their third consecutive All-Ireland final. They lost by 1 point to Clonduffin down 2 years ago, and of course they beat St. Rynagh with Una Jackman's late goal in the 2019 decider, and they know what to do in this situation, and they know the importance of keeping a clean sheet regards to goals. Shauna Fitzgerald, whereas number 9 has the ball, but again that first touch is going to be vital in this game if Gailltír are going to successfully retain the All-Ireland title. Wearing number 10 is Anne Corcoran for Gailltír. She's in the middle of that scramble for possession inside the 65-metre line. Shauna Fitzgerald, long ball down in towards the full forward line. Will this break kindly for Gailltír? Not to be, says Sinead Moore, the vice captain for St. Rynagh. Had the ball there, doing enough to cover at the moment, and they bring it out past the 45-metre line. So great battle for possession, even a bit of footwork as well. They play a bit of football in Banagher too in the surrounding areas. Emma Corcoran has the ball. She's been busy in the early stages. Kate Kenny looks like she's come out towards the 40 to get more involved in the action. The referee spotted something he wasn't happy with.
It actually hit his back, I think, as he was expecting that delivery, and he turned and the shot, the low ball into Kate Kenny actually hit him in the back, so he's calling it back, I think, for a hot ball. But like superb challenging all over the field from both sets of players. You know, the ball has been in play for long periods of time, and you know, very few scores, so whatever scores do come will really, really be crucial. But as I said, Ryan's just getting to the pitch of it a little bit quicker now than they had for the first couple of minutes, and you know, Gailltír have really failed to get past kind of midfield for the last couple of minutes.
Yeah, blitzing start if you just joined us here on the Camogie Association YouTube page. Annie and Aoife Fitzgerald both off the mark within 40 seconds for Gailltír, giving them a 2 points to nil advantage. But it's the player on your screen. You can't see the number 14, but there is Kate Kenny. That's how difficult the sun is here in Semple Stadium. She's taking this free, looking for her second of the match, but 50 yards out. It will be challenging, but well within her range. And Kate Kenny puts the ball over the bar. The sides are level, 9 minutes and 55 seconds. It's 2 points apiece.
Yeah, and that's a super score, you know, into a strong breeze, and it just goes to show the threat that Kate Kenny is up front there. You know, if, as I said, Rynagh can get enough ball in there, which they seem to be able to do at the moment, Roisin Egan in particular at the back there is really leading the charge. Yeah, indeed, from 5 to 9, they're just sweeping those breaks much better. And down the left, Roisin Egan had given the pass to Linda Sullivan, who sent it into space. But Gailltír's full back line doing what they have to do in these early stages. That's an excellent pass in the direction of Shauna Fitzgerald, and she lays the ball off for Kate Lynch. And Kate Lynch sends a diagonal ball down in the direction of Ciara O'Sullivan. Not to be in this occasion, it's like Katie O'Connell is the player that wins that ball, and she'll send it down the right. Katie O'Connell playing as right wing back, wearing the number 7 jersey. And of course, Emma Corcoran is playing in the left wing, wearing number 5. Another scramble for the ball between the 65 and 45 metre lines. St. Rynagh on the move again, and this is an opportunity here now for St. Rynagh as they go on the move for a score. The delivery not quite what they wanted, and Ciara Jackman takes possession of the ball. I wasn't too sure was that Linda Sullivan on the run on that occasion, but Gailltír cleared the ball out towards the 65 metre line, and St. Ryan's is showing exactly their threat here now, Elaine. Yeah, and look, that was a chance. I think they'll rue the shot just didn't quite come off at the end, but certainly they had turned over Gailltír nicely, and a little bit of pace up front really opened up that Gailltír defence. But as I said, the shot just not good enough to beat Ciara Jackman on that occasion. St. Ryan's will get the free in, and Kate Kenny will give them the opportunity to go in front. So this is about 30 yards out, slightly to the right of the posts. 3 Leinster titles they have won, St. Ryan's as well, during this golden run. Kate Kenny had the honour one year of being both the Offaly Camogie and Ladies Football Player of the Year, another dual star. So she's having a look at the post. Can she put her team in front for the first time? Kate Kenny with the free. The umpires have a look. I don't think we've had any wides in this game so far. We've had 5 scores, 12 minutes gone. It's 3-2 to St. Rynagh. Yeah, as I said, it's been a huge battle all over the field, and the ball hasn't been dead too often. It's been in play for a lot of the time of those 12 minutes, and you know, real testament to the two teams and the battle that's going on out there today.
Roisin Egan picks up the ball again, just drops it in that occasion. Good pressure being applied by Roisin Flood. The battle of the Roisins, but it's St. Rynas who go on the move again through Grania Dolan. And Grania Dolan moves down the left hand side, gets towards the 45-metre line. St. Rynas will feel they have a chance here. She gives the pass in for Kate Kenny, but good defending by Kate Lynch on that occasion to take possession of the ball. And Gailltír win back possession. Haven't scored now in 12 minutes. They'll want to get the scoreboard again soon. Kate Lynch moves up towards her own 45-metre line. The referee going back for a foul he'd seen already, so it looks like we're going to have a free out for Gailltír. Ciara Jackman coming up to take this, and she's, as we mentioned already, got a point in the campaign so far, well capable of driving a long ball down the field, and St. Rynas will have to be careful looking at the flags on the field. They're still very, very strong. They favour Gailltír, and Ciara Jackman could put this in towards the danger area should she choose. The Gailltír goalkeeper down the right, down in towards the attack, and touch there is from Annie Fitzgerald. Annie Fitzgerald leaves it off for Roisin Flood on the 45-metre line, but Helen Dolan doing well for St. Rynas. And Gailltír just can't seem to string the few passes they want at the moment, but Annie Fitzgerald has the ball. Foul committed, a free in for Gailltír, and this might give them an opportunity to get back level.
Yeah, good free there from Ciara Jackman down the wing, and a super first touch from Annie Fitzgerald, and Roisin Flood did well just to hold up the Rynagh's defence there. And you just feel, as I said, Gailltír have those score getters up front. They just haven't been able to get the ball up to them up to this point, but a chance now for Aoife Fitzgerald from a free, as I said, from a nice distance out, but a strong breeze behind her.
Aoife Fitzgerald has scored 24 points in the last 4 games. She's played averages 6 a match. Can she get one here? Be her second. If she does, it goes over the bar. Well, one thing we might be expecting a low scoring contest, but we're certainly seeing quality when the attacks come. The chances come with 3 points apiece.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, Gailltír may have limited possession up there, but anything they do get up there, well capable of converting into a score with that inside full forward line. So, you know, they'll keep themselves right in this game, no matter how dominant Rynagh's might be out the field.
This is Katie O'Connell for St. Rynas sending the ball in towards Aoife McLaughlin. Aoife McLaughlin on the 20-metre line tries to look and see if their teammate there. She might go her 70. She will go herself. A very acute angle. Did that bounce over the net? Indeed, it did bounce over the net. And arguably the score of the game so far. Aoife McLaughlin, Kate Kenny sold the dummy. Aoife went herself. It looked difficult. She backed herself. She gets the point.
Yeah, really, really tight angle. And I think Ciara Jackman was worried for a second there that maybe it had dipped in over her for her shoulder. But a super score for St. Rynagh's and great response to Gailltír's point.
St. Rynagh's 4 points, Gailltír 3. Gailltír on the attack through Annie Fitzgerald, sending it down towards the number 15, Alana O'Sullivan. She scored 2-3 in the semi-final victory over Claren Bridge, and Emma Corcoran is well aware of the threat that she brings. One white helmet to the other. The other is Helen Dolan, and Helen Dolan drives a long ball down in the direction. This might fall nicely for Kate Kenny. Gailltír reading it very, very well, but St. Rynagh's still have an opportunity not to be. This is great defending at the moment from the Wterford All-Ireland champions, and the person there on your screen doing the work for Gailltír was Hannah Flynn. Unfortunately for herself, the referee decided that she gave away a foul, and it's going to be a free for St. Rynagh's. The water break won't be too far away here in the 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie final. St. Rynagh's in front by a point, and Kate Kenny has gotten 3 of their 4 scores, and you can argue had a bit of an assist with the other, even though she didn't touch the ball. But here she goes now, stepping up to take this. You can see the breeze on her jersey. Just goes to show how difficult it is for St. Rynagh's in the first half, but they're definitely handling it well. It's going to drop in towards the square. A snapshot there, a great save from Ciara Jackman. We'll have a look at that in a moment there, but a snapshot from St. Rynagh's nearly yielding a goal. It might well have been Aoife McLaughlin that took that. We'll see in a second, but of course Kate Kenny has possession on the 45-metre line, gives the pass for Sinead Hannamy. Sinead Hanamy's on the move outside the D there. Can she get the space? Defending there from Shauna Fitzgerald. The referee says there was a foul, but the first big goal chance of the match, Elaine.
Yeah, absolutely, and what a save from Ciara Jackman, a real reflex save in there. You know, the ball looked dangerous from the time it left Kate Kenny's hurl. It was never going to go the distance, I think, into the strength of the breeze that had just picked up before she struck the free, but it was Rynagh's reacted quickest in on the edge of the square, but second to that reaction was Ciara Jackman, and a super save, and a save that really has saved Gailltír.
Has saved Gailltír as the water break has been called. We will start with a St. Rynagh's attack afterwards. 4 points to 3. And Elaine, I suppose the best way to summon this up, Gailltír came out all guns blazing, 2 early points, but it's really been St. Rynagh's afterwards.
Yeah, you know, for the first 40 seconds there, I suppose it really looked like Gailltír were totally at the pitch of the game, and Rynagh's were scrambling, maybe just to establish themselves, as I said, from the throw in. Roisin Egan dropped straight back into that half back line to bring the extra defender back there, and you know, they've really built from there. And so from a Gailltír point of view, they've opted to put Kate Lynch back in full back back into counteract maybe Kate Kenny in there, but I suppose what they've gained in there, they're missing around the middle of the field, and I just think maybe Helen Dolan has kind of gotten a bit of a foothold around the middle of the field for Rynagh, and a lot of their attack has been built from there. So, as I said, Gailltír maybe losing Kate Lynch from the middle of the field loses a bit of the momentum. Yet when they get the ball up to that full forward line, Aoife Fitzgerald, Annie in there, Alana O'Sullivan, well capable of getting scores, but they just haven't been able to get enough ball into them this half, considering they are playing with the wind behind them.
It's a credit to St. Ryan's though to react straight away after that bad start as well, and put Roisin Egan in that position there as well, and even Helen Dolan getting involved too. Emma Corcoran too. They're happy enough to move the ball up the field.
Yeah, they've started to turn over Gailltír, I suppose, which they weren't able to do for those two first scores. They've turned them over in their half back line, and they've been able to build momentum and get the passes away, and they really are stretching that Gailltír full back line when they get in there. But from a Gailltír point of view, I suppose Clodagh Carroll at centre back is their spare player back there, and she's on the break of everything that's there, and she's there for clearances, as is Ciara Jackman behind her. So Gailltír maybe just asking Kate Lynch to do enough to just knock the ball out of Kate Kenny's way and get someone else in then for the clearance.
It's actually a free out for Gailltír. We've just restarted for the second quarter of this AIB All-Ireland's Club Intermediate Camogie final, and Ciara Jackman restarted the action. So it's a 1-point ball game, as you can see in the top right of your screen. St. Brian's 4 points, Gailltír 3. Emily Mahoney sends the ball down for Gailltír, and they'll want to start this quarter like the start of the match. Along the ground, Anne Corcoran sends it into space, hoping that Annie Fitzgerald can get onto that, but moving the far side of the field and enjoy more success now is Elaine Sullivan. She had the ball, finds a teammate, and St. Brian is sending out towards the middle of the field, but only as far as Aoife Hartley, and Aoife Hartley with possession attempted to get the pass off for Anne Corcoran, found someone else, and play happening just outside the 45-metre line. Aoife Hartley might have a go at this, and she goes for an effort at the post, and that ball has gone over the bar, and that definitely was the Gailltír number 4, making sure it wasn't mistaken identity. What an excellent point. It's 4 points apiece.
Yeah, super score, and it came from a clearance maybe that Rynagh felt they could have dealt better with, but as I said, Gailltír did really well and well able to shoot their points from distance, especially with that breeze behind them.
So we're level again, level for the third time in this match, 4 points apiece, and St. Brian's have possession through Roisin Egan as she tries to bring it past the 45-metre line. The referee says too many steps. Now I have to say one thing with the official, I haven't noticed him too much in the game so far. What's your assessment of his performance to date?
Yeah, no, to be fair, the game has flown, and it hasn't been easy because, as I said, there's been a lot of ruck ball, a lot of ball in play for a lot of the time, so there hasn't been any major incidents to date. So as you said, anytime you're not noticing the referee, it's a sign that he's probably doing a good job.
Gailltír have an opportunity to get their noses back in front. 18 minutes gone in the game, and Aoife Fitzgerald will be the player that takes this, and she takes the free, looks at the post. Her third of the day goes over the bar, and Gailltír are back in the lead. Aoife Fitzgerald with a free. It's 5 points to 4.
Yeah, and similar to how the game started, 2 quick scores from Gailltír right from the resumption, so it'll be up to Rynagh now to see, I suppose, how they can respond to that.
Many of these Gailltír players won an All-Ireland Féile A title with the club in 2015. Annie and Aoife Fitzgerald, 2 of those, Clodagh Carroll, Leah Sheridan, Hannah Flynn and Ciara O'Sullivan. All 6 of those players are starting this match. It goes to show the progress being made in Gailltír while they're missing some of their experienced names. No doubt some are watching this commentary at the moment. We say hello to you wherever in the world you might be. Gailltír looking in good position, lead by 5 points to 4, but St. Ryan's very much in this match as well and looking to get themselves back on level terms as ball works its way out just outside the 20-metre line in the Gailltír half of the field. In possession, the ball is Linda Sullivan, looks around, finds Kate Kenny. Kate Kenny tries to move at the centre channel. She was being held back, says the official. She'll get the advantage of the shot, and the referee blows the whistle just as she was about to pull the trigger, but in fairness to himself, he had blown the whistle. It will be a free in. St. Ryan should get back in level terms here.
Yeah, and Kate Kenny took that lovely little pass down low, took it into her hand first time, and when a player of her speed gains possession in front of you like that, it's very hard not to foul her because you risk her turning you like that. So did really well to get the shot away, but it has been called back for the free, but straightforward enough free for Kate Kenny.
She's a great focal point for St. Ryan's as well. They're using her well too because she's distracting defenders as well. Now Gailltír's defence have worked very hard and been solid enough to make sure goal chances bar that one before the break has come in, but she's definitely playing her part here. Yeah,
sure, she's the go-to player up there. She's the marquee forward that you're going to be watching, and most of the time the ball goes up there, it is taken 2 Gailltír defenders to maybe one to defend her and the other to pick up the break, so that does open up the door for the other Rynagh forwards, and maybe if Rynagh can try and get a couple of them on the scoreboard, that'll prove really telling.
It's 5 points apiece here now. Level for the fourth time as Emma Corcoran tries to clear the ball for St. Rynagh. Finds Roisin Egan, and Roisin Egan moves towards the 65-metre line. The pass off for Katie O'Connell, and Katie O'Connell goes between the two 65-metre lines and now gets herself within 45 yards of the goal. Just overhits the pass in the direction of Kate Kenny. Nobody from St. Rynagh reading that to go inside. Kira Jackman says thank you very much and sends the ball out the far side of the field. The left flank doors looking for the number 10, who is Anne Corcoran. St. Rynagh defenders there as well. In the middle is Kira O'Sullivan too, battling for possession, and the half forwards are out in the midfield to help out the Gailltír cause, but St. Rynagh getting little touches there as well. Supporters cheering on both teams, whether it's Wterford, Offaly, Gailltír, St. Rynagh. They're getting behind the club representing their respective counties in this All-Ireland final. But like a good game of rugby, the ball has moved up a few yards in favour of Gailltír, and Corcoran down in the direction of Annie Fitzgerald. Annie Fitzgerald with the ball for Gailltír. Can she get the range for the shot? She might try and find a teammate. Tried to find Roisin Flood, not to be, but it's still a Gailltír ball. It's back with Annie. Annie Fitzgerald will go for the shot into the hands, or the stick, I should say, of the St. Rynagh goalkeeper Ellen Gilligan. Annie will feel she should have done better with that. Ellen Gilligan sends it out, but it's only going to go as far as Shauna Fitzgerald. Gailltír have the ball again. They want another go at this. Aoife Fitzgerald, the cousin, will have a go. Aoife Fitzgerald from 50 yards, and Aoife Fitzgerald puts the ball over the bar. A bit of a Fitzgerald rivalry there. Anything you can do, I can do better. She gets the point, 6-5.
Absolutely, but Gailltír worked so hard to get that ball to the player in the better position. Turned over Ryan time and time again, and the initial shot for Annie didn't quite make the distance, but Aoife was there sitting in the pocket, and a super pass across to her, and again a score from distance.
Hannah Flynn has the ball for Gailltír, gives it to Aoife Hartley, and Aoife Hartley turns on her right hand side, sends it down the field, but doesn't find the intended target, and Grania Dolan for St. Rynagh wins it back in a straight Route 1 ball in towards the attack. It's Kate Kenny. The hands are out again. Kate Kenny gets a bit of space, goes for a shot at the post, and Kate Kenny puts the ball over the bar. Another score in a very, very enjoyable game, it has to be said. 6 points apiece, no wides of note. We're getting exactly what we were hoping for coming down here today, Lynn.
Exactly what you'd expect from these two teams, and again, what a great ball in front of Kate Kenny in there, and gives her very little to do once she can win it in front of Kate Lynch. She has all the power and a super striker of the ball, and for a second there it looked like she might try and take her on, but credit to Clodagh Card, she got back to put the numbers back there. But the game just starting to open up a little bit now, and scores may be coming a little bit freer.
Shauna Fitzgerald give the ball to Roisin Flood, wins it back, and she has possession in the middle of the field. But St. Ryan, as you can see, the pressing there, they're just getting the bodies in the way, making it difficult for Gailltír to launch one of those dangerous attacks. And when they do, they've somebody of the calibre of Grania Dolan to win the ball and send it out in the direction of Helen Dolan. And Helen Dolan, against the wind, it goes through the 265-metre lines, and St. Rynagh are on the move again. 45 yards out from the goal. Options are plenty there for Helen Dolan. She continues to bring the ball herself, and maybe that bit of indecision cost her in the end as Gailltír win the ball back, but too much exuberance to get the ball away. Overhit pass, and St. Rynagh will have another go. Yes, there's an All-Ireland final. There's a bit of nerves here the whole time, but great quality nonetheless. And St. Rynagh moving the ball down the left flank in the direction of Mairead Daly. Mairead Daly, who missed out on the last meeting of these two teams in Croke Park in March 2020. Her second ACL injury. Great to see her back on the field of play. Doesn't win the ball on that occasion, but might get another go as Emma Corcoran plays a bit of football on the ground, being well marshalled by Roisin Flood. But Emma Corcoran is on the move. The referee blows for too many steps, and it's going to be a free for Gailltír.
Yeah, and love another really, really busy passage of play there. And something to note, I think, from Rynagh is just the way they take the ball so low to the ground. Emma Corcoran did it there on that occasion and kicked it on ahead of her again. But great pressure from Roisin Flood. And look, every ball, as you would expect in an All-Ireland final, has been fought for tooth and nail out there.
It certainly has been fought for tooth for nail, and it's the lie we're getting this game as well. After so much talk about it not happening and the long wait for it to happen, but we are here, we're watching it right now. We hope you're enjoying our coverage, brought to you in association with Entry, as Elaine Sullivan tries to get the ball for St. Rynagh. 4 players battling for possession. Kira O'Sullivan, the number 11 for Gailltír, the player that wins the challenge, finds Shauna Fitzgerald, and Shauna Fitzgerald will send it down towards the left, and this could be an opportunity for Anne Corcoran. But St. Rynagh' defence very, very alert. Roisin Egan doing well to hold it up for Grania Dolan, and Grania Dolan will send it out the field. As we look at the clock, 5.5 minutes to go in the first half. The referee has spotted a foul, and I believe is he pointing for a free in? I think he is. It's going to be a free out it will be, just indicating that the free out for St. Rynagh will be taken from their own 13 or 20 metre line.
Yeah, I think it was a high hurl there on Helen Dolan as she was coming out from the defence there, and high hurl from the Gailltír corner forward, I think it was. So the advantage play, but when it didn't accrue, gone back for the free. So a chance now for Ellen to put St. Rynagh on the attack again.
Ellen Gilligan, the St. Rynagh goalkeeper, is known for great ability of dealing with high balls. Very rarely she gets caught out, takes the free down in the direction of Emma Corcoran, but she's been well marshalled by Roisin Flood. Roisin Flood working hard as many others in the field of play, and again 4 players go in for the battle, and one standing outside on your screen wearing number 10 is Linda Sullivan for St. Rynagh. A foul of the ball on the ground. It's going to be a free out for the Offaly and Leinster champions, and it's going to be taken by Roisin Egan. So Roisin Egan will wait. Referee's not ready as well. He's telling her to bring the ball up. The Gailltír player not retreating back. The guilty party, I think, was Anne Corcoran. So it's going to be a free for St. Rynagh on the 65-metre line. And Roisin Egan, the primary school teacher from Belmont, takes it, finds a teammate. The teammate is Mairead Daly. And Mairead Daly inside the 45-metre line. The hands are out for an advantage. We're going to go back for the free, it looks like. And Kate Kenny might have an opportunity to try and put her team back in front. 6 points of piece on the 45-metre line, where she's been deadly accurate so far, and this will give St. Rynagh a chance to take the lead. Gailltír, Lane, I have to say, with the wind and everything, they'll be very, very disappointed that they haven't caused more danger in the attack, because they don't want to go into this game behind or even all square, you'd feel.
No, look, and they have, you know what chances they have got. They have converted probably up front, but they just haven't created enough. And as I said, I think the absence of Kate Lynch maybe from the middle of the field is costing them a little bit there. They just haven't been able to get enough good ball in. But credit to Roisin Egan at the heart of that Rynagh's defence. You know, she's marshalling that defence really, really well back there, and she's controlling a lot of it, and they're just dealing better with the situation at the moment.
Kate Kenny takes the free. This might drop a bit in short. Attempted snapshot there might be from Aoife McLaughlin, but Gailltír well capable of dealing with the danger. They haven't cleared their lines just yet. It comes back for Ciara Jackman, and Ciara Jackman knew where Hannah Flynn was, and an excellent pass for the number 3 for Gailltír, not playing a full back, but brings the ball out towards the 65-metre line. It'll be Annie Fitzgerald who takes possession for Gailltír, looks up, sending it down towards the left. And Gailltír now all of a sudden turn this into a scoring opportunity. This is Shauna Fitzgerald, a low ball in for Roisin Flood. If she can win the race, support is around her, but St. Rynagh is there too, and Lane Sullivan, I should say, another player that has been very, very effective in her defensive duties in this match so far. The outside of the D is St. Rynagh to try and bring the ball away. The referee has the hand out, spots the foul. It's going to be a free out for St. Rynagh, and just goes to show how quick the teams are, Lane, when they get going.
Yeah, and you'd have to say, you look, a little bit of indiscipline probably costing Gailltír at the moment. You know, they've given away the last number of frees, and while they haven't all been in scoreable positions, they have certainly cost them themselves.
So steps are going to become a big issue in this game. Gailltír have a free on this occasion. Looks like that Aoife Fitzgerald will come out to take this about 50 yards out. It'll be a big statement for her team if she can put this over the bar. The driving force of their score so far. 3 points for herself in the game. Aoife Hartley and her cousin Annie Fitzgerald also on target. So can Aoife Fitzgerald get Gailltír back in front here? The clock says less than 2 minutes to go off normal time in the opening half. Aoife Fitzgerald with the green tape on the hurl. He gets ready to take the free for Gailltír. This is going to drop in towards the house. St. Rynagh need to be very, very careful, and they are very, very careful bringing the ball out. And there to take possession is Elaine Sullivan, and she gives the pass out in the direction of Emma Corcoran, and it's out 50 yards from the goal again. But an excellent touch from Emily Mahoney. Emily Mahoney to Aoife Fitzgerald. Roisin Egan with the ball for St. Rynagh. Skips past the challenge, gives the hand pass in the direction of Louise Mannion. Doesn't materialise. Annie Fitzgerald wins the ball back for Gailltír. Bit of end-to-end stuff again. Helen Dolan for St. Rynagh, showing that she can read the defensive duties just as good as Roisin Egan. Helps to bring the ball up in the direction of Katie O'Connell, and the hands are up there. The supporters are making their thoughts heard, and whatever way you interpret that, Gailltír have a free.
Whatever, we're putting the commentator's curse on a free taker. I think we might have put one on the referee a few minutes ago there. I think a clear trip there from the Gailltír player, hands up in the air to acknowledge it, and no free came, and in the end it turned out to be a Gailltír free. So certainly the Rynagh ultras on the far side there are not too happy with that one.
Well, we can tell you, I don't know if you can hear it or not, but we can tell you that there's no supporters the commentary side of the field. That's all coming from the far side of the field as Aoife Fitzgerald takes the free, and maybe the curse on Aoife Fitzgerald as as well, because the first wide of the game, and certainly we know the players have been in this from the word go. The supporters are definitely in this match now, Elaine.
Absolutely, even from before the word go, when we went down pitch side beforehand, you know, there was a couple of diehards over at the back of the stand there getting ready to be in sound, and in fairness they've waited as long as the teams for this final, so huge day for them as well.
The 30 minutes have been played in the first half. The stadium announcer did announce the added time. Didn't quite hear it. I think it's 1 or 2 minutes. So another couple of minutes maybe remaining in the first half. But you can see now the intensity of this game is really, really picking up, and everybody is getting involved in the action. It's going to be a St. Rynagh ball right in front of us here in the old stand. It's going to be taken by Helen Dolan. She won an All-Ireland Féile football title back in 2009. And she's going to take this sideline cut, 30 minutes and 30 seconds. They score 6 points apiece here in the 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie final. St. Rynagh will have the wind in the second half. Helen Dolan sends it down towards the left. Excellent control there from Louise Mannion, allows Murray Daly to go on the run, and Murray Daly hasn't scored in the game yet, tries to go into the challenge. I reckon that'll be a free out for charging. We'll see what the decision the referee does make, and it will be a free out. It did look like that Murray Daly did run into the defender.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's any debate in that one. I think she was off the ground and went into Clodagh Carroll as opposed to Clodagh Carroll coming out against her. So I think from the minute the whistle blew, I felt it was going to be a free out, and that's what it is. It brought forward now for a little bit of dissent from the Rynagh players.
Clodagh Carroll is one of the most experienced players in this Gailltír team, and she's still only 21 years of age. Just goes to show the young talent there are coming through. Gailltír with the free. It's taken by the aforementioned Clodagh Carroll, and a crossfield ball, but it's great defensive reading as well, as Katie O'Connell got a touch there, but the referee has blown for half-time. And half-time here in a very, very entertaining 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie final. Lane, at the risk of repeating myself, we are getting everything we hope for coming down here today.
Absolutely, everything and more. You know, a point between them at the first water break, nothing between them at half time. I know Gailltír have played with breeze in that first half, but I really don't think it's going to make a huge difference, because as I said, every ball has been fought for so vigilantly around the middle of the field. And you know, I suppose both teams will be disappointed that maybe they didn't create more with some of the possession they had. Certainly from a Rynagh's point of view, they seem to have had the lion's share of possession, but you know, still go in level at half time. Gailltír on the other hand have had probably fewer scoring chances maybe, but have converted everything they've got up there. So you know, a huge second half to come.
Just talking about that with Gailltír against this win in the second half, it looks like it's dying down a little bit, but after getting the early 2 points, they struggled to deal with Rynagh playing more as a holding role as well. No doubt against the elements, they'll want to find a way very, very quickly to get around that. Yeah,
look, they started, as we said, really, really quickly. 2 points within the 40 seconds. Again, started after the water break really, really quickly with another 2 points, but just really haven't got to grips with, as you said, Rynagh there at the back. And it's not that she's playing the spare player or anything, but she's just coming out time and time again. She's reading the ball that's going into them, and look, from Rynagh's defenders' point of view, they're just getting to the ball first. And you know, we've probably seen more of the Gailltír defence maybe scrambling at times to get back, but again, Clodagh Carroll at the heart of that there is providing the support, and Ciara Jackman is always off the back of those rooks for the balls out. So look, a really keenly contested game between the two sides, as we expected, as you said, and look, who'd call it at this stage?
Certainly as well. Gailltír's defence have been very solid too. St. Rynagh no doubt will create more chances in the second half as well. They've shown they're well capable of doing it. Didn't get the goal that you would feel they need if they're going to win this match as well, but can Gailltír just keep doing what they're doing? To St. Rynagh need to mix it up a bit more if they're going to get those winning scores.
Yeah, I think St. Rynagh probably do need to. If I was from St. Rynagh, I'd probably be a little bit disappointed. I know they've played against the breeze there, but as I said, I think they've probably had the most possession in that, and they've probably looked the most dangerous. We've probably seen more of Ciara Jackman than we have of the Rynagh's goalkeeper on the other end. So you know, when they haven't converted those chances, it's something I suppose that will niggle in the back of their mind, that they were ahead coming down the home straight, and Gailltír just have this knack of getting scores when they get up there. So it's something I suppose, look, if I was Rynagh, I'd look to start quick in this second half and really ask questions of Gailltír and try and put, maybe, you know, Kay Kenny has been on fire from frees. If they can create the chances, she'll score them, and just keep kicking on a little bit. But I suppose, look, the game is so close, and with the history between these seeds, as I said, unless they're going up the steps to collect the cup, I don't think either one of them will think they have it in the bag until that minute.
Certainly not as well, and we're looking forward to the next 30 minutes. We hope you join us. We're going to take a break for about 5 to 10 minutes, and we'll be back with every puck of the ball of the second half of this 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie final. We expected it to be tight. It's certainly be entertaining. The weather hasn't let us down in any shape or form, and it's all square level 5 times so far, still level. We'll be back shortly with the second half of the game here in Semple Stadium, Jarlath. The half-time score: Gailltír 6 points, St. Rynagh 6 points. So welcome back here to Semple Stadium in Thurles for the 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie Final. I'm Darren Kelly, joined by Elaine Aylward. The team you can see out in the field are Gailltír. The cheers you can hear from the far side of the field are welcoming St. Rynagh, who are back on 6 points apiece, as you can see in the scoreboard, all to play for. And the rain is coming down, the wind is picking up, but it's not spoiling the entertainment.
Certainly not, no, and I don't see any changes to either team just yet as they come out onto the field, although notably the first two subs out I think were Margot Heffernan and Siobhan Flannery from Gailltír and Rynagh respectively, so I'm sure they'll have a part to play before the hour is up here, but no, ready to go again for a massive second half now.
We can't guarantee we'll have All-Ireland champions at the end of these 30 minutes. I think we can guarantee that Margot Heffernan and Siobhan Flannery will be on the field before this game finishes, Elaine.
Absolutely, look, as I said, huge experience there, and from a Rynagh's point of view, if you have Gailltír carefully watching Kate Kenny up front, how bad would it be to have Siobhan Flannery there maybe to pop over a score if needs be?
The game is back on. First time of asking, this time for Gavin Donegan as Gailltír attacking the goal to the left. This is Shauna Fitzgerald sending the pass. The pass in for Ciara O'Sullivan. Ciara O'Sullivan. This is Anne Corcoran. Anne Corcoran, a chance for Gailltír, a shot! And it's gone over the bar. It's a point in the end. Their first goal chance of the game. But for a moment there, Elaine, I thought that ball was going to the back of the net.
Yeah, what a run from Gailltír. You know, great little ball around the middle of the field. Shauna Fitzgerald drew the tackle, popped a lovely pass to Anne Corcoran, who did really, really well to get around the tackle and, you know, just couldn't quite get the finish she wanted, but she certainly knew where she was going for. And that's the intent Gailltír started the first half with. They started just after the first water break with it as well, getting the two first scores. So, you know, it's something Rynagh should maybe have expected, but Gailltír will be disappointed they didn't make more of a goal chance of that.
I'll ask you another question in a moment, Elaine, after this attack for Gailltír that's going to be taken by Alana O'Sullivan, batted up with the St. Rynagh defence, and Gailltír against the wind in the second half now, looking to get that good start, as Elaine just mentioned. They have possession outside the 45-metre line. The pass in the direction of Roisin Flood. St. Rynagh win the ball back. Looks like it's Helen Dolan in possession. Gives the pass off for Linda Sullivan, and Linda Sullivan with the white boots moves up towards the 65-metre line, gives the pass off. The pass is for Eva McLaughlin. Eva McLaughlin wins the free. The referee is to hand out. It's going to come back for St. Rynagh's free. But Elaine, the question I was going to ask, I think that was the first time in the game I know as Gailltír actually ran at the St. Rynagh's defence. We were asking the question at half time, how will they deal with Roisin Egan? Yeah,
and I think that's probably the solution to it. You know, they played a nice couple of little balls in that build up, just laterally across the field rather than straight down the neck of the Rynagh defence, and when they did start to run at them, then as I said, Anne Corcoran carved open the defence and got in that shot, and that's probably what they'll need to do against the breeze.
St. Rynagh will look for the perfect response, and that's getting a point. Kate Kenny has scored 5 points in the first half. Eva McLaughlin there are to score 4 for Eva Fitzgerald for Gailltír. Annie Fitzgerald and Aoife Hartley, and of course Anne Corcoran getting the point after the restart to make it 7 points to 6 to Gailltír. Kate Kenny with the shot. This might drop. No, it doesn't drop. How dare I question her? The ball goes over the bar. 2 minutes into the second half. We're level again, 7-all.
Yeah, and again the response from St. Rynagh's, the response to that Gailltír attack. So, you know, Ciara Jackman's puck out now against that breeze, but Rynagh will look to build on it.
The one place she didn't want that ball to land was into the hands of Kate Kenny. That's exactly where it ended up, and St. Rynagh have plenty of space here at the moment as they go on an attack inside the D. An opportunity, a shot at the post into the hands of Ciara Jackman. The ball's gone over the line. It's a goal. It's a goal for St. Rynagh, and we were moving away. It's Eva McLaughlin. I think they got the goal. I'm just watching over to Louise Mannion. I'll have to confirm that in just a moment. But the goal scorer, St. Rynagh have the goal. We'll have a quick look at that in a moment. Here we go again, and St. Rynagh, Ciara Jackman dropping the ball. St. Rynagh have their goal. It's 1-7 to 7 points, and that's a twist we weren't expecting.
That's a huge, huge moment in this game, you know, and it all came from pressure on Shauna Fitzgerald out the field. She was staying for the hook. The ball dropped in. Ciara Jackman looked to have dealt with it, and by the narrowest of margins it just crawled in over the line, and I think she's probably remonstrating with the umpire down there, but I don't think there was any doubt about it, you know. And we mentioned the cold out there, the weather conditions, and certainly cold hands could have played a part in that one, but Rynagh won't complain.
Rynagh will not complain. They have the goal, and there was that pause as well when she dropped the ball, and the umpire was very, very quick to put the hand out, indicate it's a goal. It's St. Rynagh 1-7, Gailltír 7 points, and now the pressure has been put on the reigning defending champions. It's the sideline cut for St. Rynagh. They know the importance of the next point. Try and put 4 between them. 3.5 minutes into the second half. Helen Dolan, a ball into space with Kate Kenny, was perfectly positioned, but Kate Lynch got the touch. However, they haven't cleared their lines yet. Louise Mannion applying the pressure, but Gailltír have the ball and are bringing it out the field through Clodagh Carroll. Gailltír 3 points behind, and they're completely stunned after making a good start to the second half on the 45-metre line. St. Brian is working hard to win the ball back. In possession is Murray Daly. Murray Daly has the ball. Murray Daly being marked by Maeve Sheridan. Maeve Sheridan, one of these young defenders coming through. Linda Sullivan gets involved, gives a pass inside, and St. Brian feel there's an opportunity here now to really do damage in this All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie final. A scramble for possession inside the 20-metre line, and the referee has blown the whistle, going to throw it in, I'd say.
Yeah, you just get the feeling that goal has just breathed a little bit of life into St. Rynagh's, and given them a little bit of belief, and they're ready to attack the puckouts again. And as predicted here, the two first impact subs in, and it's Margot Heffernan for Gailltír and Siobhan Flannery into the Rynagh's attack.
So Siobhan Flannery is on the field of play for St. Rynagh's. Margot Heffernan, we should have guessed they were going to come on together. Eva McLaughlin, we can confirm, was the goal scorer for St. Rynagh's as well, to give them that 3-point advantage. And we're just confirming the two players that are going off the field for the respective sides. Gailltír off is Roisin Flood for Gailltír, so she's replaced by Margot Heffernan. And for St. Rynagh's, as we just watched the play in the field of play, we'll go back to the substitute in a moment, because St. Rynagh's have an opportunity. This is Linda Sullivan. Linda Sullivan trying to pull the trigger. Blocked down by Clodagh Carroll. Sinead Hannamy has gone over St. Rynagh's lane.
Yeah, so Margaret Heffernan, I suppose, moving up into the forward position, replacing Roisin Flood there, and I suppose just a sign maybe that Gailltír feel they need to bring a little bit something maybe to that forward line and try and create something up front, because at the minute it is all St. Rynagh's, and I said that goal has really given them a lift.
It certainly has given them a lift. They lead by 3 points. The next score, vital 5.5 minutes into the second half. St. Rynagh's have the win as well. It has to be remembered, they've never been All-Ireland champions. Just the one final loss 22 months ago in March 2020, the 2019 decider. That was against Gailltír, the team they play today. But Gailltír have proven themselves before. Indeed, didn't they trail near the end of that All-Ireland final in Croke Park before Una Jackman's late goal turned the tie around, and they won the game by 113 to 13 points. Gailltír have a free. Margot Heffernan, their captain, on the field of play, wins it and just waits for a teammate on the 65-metre line. It looks like one of the defenders will be stepping up to take this. Not Eva Fitzgerald anyway, it's going to be Shauna Fitzgerald to take the free outside the 65-metre line. And Gailltír's manager Orla Murphy will be calling for cool heads now. That's why she would have launched Margot Heffernan on the field of play. They don't need to panic. There's plenty of time. There's 24 minutes of action. Gailltír is sending the ball down in towards the attack, and this could be their opportunity to get back a score, bring it back to a 2-point ball game. This comes for Ciara O'Sullivan. Ciara O'Sullivan goes for a shot that might tail to the left and wide. It does go to the left and wide. Good defending from Rynagh's. Remains a 3-point ball game. Yeah,
that goal is still the difference between them, and Gailltír will be disappointed maybe they didn't get a little bit more from that. Ciara O'Sullivan with the shot eventually, but never really troubled the Rynagh's goal there, and a chance gone missing for them.
Rynagh's space down the middle, taking advantage of, and off we go again in towards the attack as St. Rynagh's look for that score to put 4 between them. Big time in the game, and won again by Clodagh Carroll. Clodagh Carroll to hand us out. She has won the free. She scored a point in the 2018 final against Clonduff. Wins the free in this occasion. And the referee bringing it up, and again Gavin Dunnigan not wasting any time, and the players are anyway trying to slow down the action. He wants a game of camogie played, and that's exactly what he's been doing. Clodagh Carroll with the free out towards the right in the direction of Alana O'Sullivan. That's the intended target, not to be in the occasion, as Emma Corcoran fights for the ball for St. Rynagh's. But Gailltír in battling on the 20-metre line. Roisin Egan there for St. Rynagh's as well. Gailltír in possession, and Alana O'Sullivan sends it across. St. Rynagh's need to be very, very careful here now. And Corcoran is on the ground. She's already threatened the goal in this half already. Might come out nicely for Annie Fitzgerald. The vice captain has the ball. Some great battles, as we've mentioned already in the commentary here. St. Rynagh's just positioning their players like a lion in rugby, not letting Gailltír pass, but Gailltír refusing to give up and holding on to the ball, looking for the best options. Lana O'Sullivan there again in the middle for Gailltír. St. Rynagh's working very, very well, and have done enough, it looks like, to clear the ball. And like, if there's an example of discipline defending Elaine, I think we just saw it there.
Yeah, that was it, time and time again. They talk about going through the phases in rugby, and it looked like Gailltír were going through the phases there, but Rynagh stood firm time and time again, and really, really disciplined defending, that they didn't give away a free. It would have been the handier option, but every time a Gailltír player looked up, her options were just cut out, and it was Rynagh's really, really strong defending that eventually wins them that free out.
We can assure it's not the Aviva Stadium. We are here in Semple Stadium in Thurles, but you do what you have to do in the phases to make sure that your team gets the advantage. And here come St. Brianus again down the left-hand side, looking for that score. Good defending on that occasion by Maeve Sheridan, just blocking the St. Brianus attacker, but Kate Kenny comes in to help out the Midland side. They have the ball again, just finding the passes. That's what you need to do in these games. On the 45-metre line, Gailltír win possession back. Referee gets out of the way of Aoife Hartley, and she gives the pass off for her teammate outside the 45-metre line. They're moving it from right to left, and they're in possession of the ball is Leah Sheridan. She was the corner back in their last All-Ireland final appearance in March 2020. But St. Brianus again, Gailltír putting the ball out, often finding opposing players though, and Roisin Egan moves it in towards Linda Sullivan. Linda Sullivan in possession for St. Brianus, sending it down the direction of Siobhan Flannery. She's wearing the red and white helmet, but doesn't win it on that occasion. Clodagh Carroll with the ball, sends it out towards the left, a bit too much for Emily Mahoney. The referee has blown for a foul. I think there was a high challenge that went in there as well, so looks like we're going to go back for the free out here.
Yeah, I thought the play maybe would have been left developed there, because Annie Fitzgerald had won the ball in front of us and, you know, had won it in space, and I thought maybe that the play would develop, but has called it back to have a word, I think, with Murray Daly. Is it inside on the full forward line?
I think it is Murray Daly he's having a chat to at the moment. We'll confirm that. So it is a free out because Clodagh Carroll will take it. Indeed, it is Murray Daly, the first player to get a yellow card in this match. And Clodagh Carroll will restart the action inside her own 45-metre line, just over 10 minutes gone in the second half. And Ciara Jackman is out the field, out towards the 45-metre line. Nearly closed down by Louise Mannion, not to be. Drives it down towards the opposing 45-metre line. This is an opportunity for Leah Sheridan to go for a shot at the post. That goes to the right and wide. It's their third wide of the game, which normally be forgivable after 41 minutes, but the fact that St. Brianus have had no wides in the match, it goes to show how costly these are in a day like today.
Exactly, and we've been speaking in the first half, you know, about how they had been really, really good at converting what few chances they had got, whereas in the second half so far, I suppose, the chances just haven't fallen to the players that maybe you would expect to. You know, Leah Sheridan wouldn't be a notice, you know, named at wing back, obviously out around the middle of the field, but, you know, you really want the likes of Aoife Fitzgerald, Annie Fitzgerald and Corcoran on the end of those passes, even though Gailltír are starting to get their running and their short passing game going around the middle of the field now.
Annie Fitzgerald had the ball a moment ago, starting off this attack, and this is Anne Corcoran on the move, coming in from the left in this occasion. Last time she nearly got a goal scoring opportunity, goes for a shot at the post, puts the ball over the bar. They have the score that they needed 12 minutes into the second half. It's back to a 2-point ball game. Anne Corcoran with the point, 8 points to 1-7.
Yeah, and she's really started the second half well. As you said, that's her second point there, but time and time again now running at that St. Ryan's defence and doing really well to get a shot off on that occasion.
The short puck out attempt there for Ellen Gilligan eventually works out for St. Brianus, but they needed a bit of help. It came from Emma Corcoran and Helen Dolan. They're just taking her time to move the ball down the field, but now driving in the direction of Siobhan Flannery. Takes the challenge. She's up against Hannah Flynn. Looks like she's dropped back to a full-back role as well. And Hannah Flynn for Gailltír helps bring the ball past the 65-metre line, but has committed the foul on the ground. So it's going to be a St. Brianus free. Kate Kenny, and it's going to be brought forward for the ball being thrown away. As we've mentioned, the official has stamped down in any kind of dissent or messing like that. You know, what you don't want to be doing in this situation if you're a Gailltír person is moving the ball forward for Kate Kenny and increasing rapidly the chances are that she's going to put this over the bar.
Yeah, a little bit of frustration there from Hannah Flynn, you know, and you've turned what was probably a non-scoreable free from out around the middle of the field into a more than scoreable one for Kate Kenny from between her 45 and 65-metre line.
The sun is out here in Semple Stadium. Kate Kenny with the bright yellow boots right in front of us here in the old stand. Takes the free. Can she put her team back 3 in front? It's going to travel. Looks good. It is very, very good. It goes over the bar. 13 minutes into the second half. 1-8 to 8 points. And proving the point we're making, Elaine.
Yeah,
St. Brianus are 3 in front.
That 10 metres so costly there. You know, it just had the legs to get over the bar. And, you know, all right, it might have been dropping from if it had been taken from further out, but it would still have been in play and still have given Gailltír a chance.
Well, the pressure is on Gailltír again because St. Brianus are growing in confidence. Linda Sullivan and Kate Kenny combining, but touching that occasion by the defender for Gailltír was Margot Heffernan, and now she's managed to help overturn possession. Ciara O'Sullivan send it down in towards the attack. Gailltír need to do something quickly, hoping that it'll come from Aoife Fitzgerald. The scramble for possession outside the D, and St. Brianus again, their defence have been defiant, they've been brilliant, and they're moving the ball out towards the 65-metre line. Linda Sullivan holds it up for Kate Kenny. Kate Kenny moving towards the 65-metre line, wants to see the options that are inside, trying to get in towards Siobhan Flannery again. Hannah Flynn being kept very, very busy with her. Helped out by Maeve Sheridan. She wears number 2. St. Rynagh know if they go 4 in front, they'll have one hand on the Agnes O'Farrelly Cup. But they have to go 4 in front. Emily Mahoney brings it out for Shauna Fitzgerald. Actually, my apologies, it's Annie Fitzgerald in possession. And Annie Fitzgerald on the 65-year line. Looking for another cousin inside, maybe. That cousin is Aoife Fitzgerald. She goes for the shot. This looks good. It's close. It's gone over the bar. And an excellent floating score from Aoife Fitzgerald. Puts it over the bar. Great response as well. All the Fitzgeralds involved. 1-8 to 9 points.
Yeah, super score from Aoife, on the back foot and maybe turned away towards the goal. But she's a superb striker of the ball from free or from play. And, that's the danger there if Gailltír can get enough ball in.
A careless foul conceded by St. Rynagh on that occasion as Katie O'Connell came into the front of the Gailltír players. It's going to be a yellow card, you would imagine. It's going to be a free in for Gailltír. And St. Rynagh, as much as we talk about Gailltír keeping their head, St. Rynagh have to do the same things as well. They are in a winning position and they know what it's like to be in a winning position in an All-Ireland final, and Gailltír are not going to go away. So it is a yellow card for Katie O'Connell. A second yellow card all of a sudden for St. Rynagh. Blow for her, but Gailltír again, they just want to keep chipping away at the scoreboard.
Yeah, a high challenge there and probably straight into the chest and head area of Annie Fitzgerald, I think, is on the ground there. But this will be a chance for Aoife, and as I said, a fine striker of the ball, so distance shouldn't be an issue for her. And worst case scenario, it'll be dropping in around the goal maybe, and I think... Is the ref just going to call the water break maybe for...
I think the water break has been called indeed, yes. He decided while the detention has been done there at the moment, we'll take a break. So that's exactly 3/4 of this final. Over 2 points between the teams. St. Rynagh won 8, Gailltír 9 points. A goal we didn't expect, a few goal chances we thought might have come. Either way, it's still all nicely set up.
Yeah, exactly. You look, and the goal, maybe not against the run of play, but certainly a misfortunate one from a Gailltír point of view. But it was probably the 2 puck-outs after the scores that they conceded the most from, 2 puck-outs straight back down on Kate Kenny again, who has moved out around the middle of the field a little bit more. And from a Rynagh's point of view, I just worry, is that bringing Kate Lynch into the game more for Gailltír? She was involved in that last passage of play that Gailltír went on the attack. So, I know Kate may feel maybe that with Siobhan Flannery in the full forward line now, that she's more of a role to come out maybe and gather a bit of ball and send it in. But the danger is, as I said, that you do bring Kate Lynch more into that game, and she is a key player for Gailltír. So, they have created the chances. They're still in this game, and the 2020 final from 22 months ago won't be out of anyone's head until, as I said, that final whistle is blown.
Well, it's a big 15 minutes. We're just where we were. We're looking at Gailltír at the moment, but beforehand, Mark Dunn talking to St. Rynagh as well. They didn't quite control that quarter like they would have liked as well. They are under a bit of pressure. They had chances to go 4 in front. But that being said, he'll be reminding them a couple of scores could be enough. Yeah,
not a bad position to be in to maybe not have controlled the game, but still get the benefit of that, be it a lucky goal or whatever you want to call it, but it is a goal on the scoreboard nonetheless. So, as I said, I think they dominated a lot of the possession in the first half, didn't have it counting on the scoreboard. They mightn't have had as much possession in that first 15 minutes of the second half, but they are ahead on the scoreboard, and that's ultimately the only thing that will matter.
It's St. Rynagh 1-8, Gailltír 9 points as Gailltír get themselves back in position. St. Rynagh not ready to go yet too, and Gailltír have had a few chances, indeed nearly got a goal, but they've conceded a goal, an unfortunate goal to concede for Ciara Jackman as well. St. Rynagh getting themselves back in position, and we're all set here. And look, for the 8th of January, no matter what year it is, you couldn't ask for better conditions to be here in Semple Stadium in Thurles enjoying an All-Ireland final and 2 sets of teams that are giving us a treat of a contest. It might be cold, but that's the only complaint we have going home. It certainly won't be a bad complaint to have. We're going to restart with a Gailltír free, and it's going to be taken by Aoife Fitzgerald, and this could bring it back to a 1-point ball game near the sideline. 45 yards out, Aoife Fitzgerald, probably too much respect for the angle, but it might drop inside for Alana O'Sullivan, and St. Rynagh need to be very, very careful, and they are careful. They've won the ball, and St. Rynagh will bring it out the field again, and good defending from them to maintain their advantage. They lead by 2 points, but Gailltír first to the ball, and they will try and get it in again, but St. Rynagh pushing in hard. 3 players fighting for it, and Louise Mannion is the player that wins the ball, gives it to Kate Kenny. Kate Kenny between the 2 65-metre lines, attacking the goal to the right, sends it down for Siobhan Flannery. She just couldn't bring the ball with her. The bounce wasn't there. Hannah Flynn managed to get her body around, but Siobhan Flannery goes to ground. The St. Rynagh management looking for a free. The referee has given it, and this will be the opportunity for Kate Kenny. I thought Siobhan Flannery might consider taking it for a moment, but it's going to be Kate Kenny, and this could bring us back to a 3-point ball game.
Yeah, I suppose it's a free, not the easiest of frees, and Kilkenny is on fire with them today from that and from play, and won that ball really, really well out around the middle of the field, and she's going to look for Siobhan Flannery time and time again, and Siobhan did really, really well there to retain possession and to win that free. But as I said, not the easiest of frees for Kilkenny, but the way she's on fire today, you wouldn't put anything past her.
Kate Kenny has scored 7 points in this All-Ireland final so far as 13 and a half minutes remain. Her team 2 in front, and Semple Stadium goes quiet. Respect for the free taker. She takes it. They haven't had a wide yet. That's the first wide of the game for St. Rynagh. 3 for Gailltír. We'll be disappointed with that.
Yeah, disappointed, as I said. It wasn't the easiest of frees, but it was one that, had they got, it would have just put a little bit more pressure on Gailltír maybe to try and get a big score up front. But as it stands, they can just bide a bit of time now maybe and try and work a score.
Gailltír will still believe, and of course they will, as Emily Mahoney sends it into the direction of Anne Corcoran. Anne Corcoran being well marshalled by Maeve Durley on that occasion for St. Rynagh. The ball spills. Gailltír look like they have control of it, but not full control, and St. Rynagh get a stick in, and it was the stick of Mairead Daly. Mairead Daly wins the ball, sends it down the field, not going to find a teammate, as Clodagh Carroll should win the race for this. I say should because Linda Sullivan was steaming through there to get a touch of the ball. She did get a touch in the opposing stick. Gailltír have the ball, and they have it through Leah Sheridan, and Leah Sheridan will send it out the far side of the field, but it's going to come straight back through Emma Corcoran. Emma Corcoran for St. Rynagh, trying to find Louise Mannion, sending it down. Great turn on that occasion by Aoife Hartley. Aoife Hartley for Gailltír, but they don't want to be messing with the ball in their own half of the field, and it's driven down towards the attack, and it's Gailltír to Alana O'Sullivan in possession, goes to knees. I was just going to talk, saying another reference to tennis, but we've talked enough about tennis and Djokovic in the last couple of days. We'll focus on Camogie and Gailltír and St. Rynagh. The referee spots a foul, gives a free for Gailltír, and a golden opportunity now, Elaine, to bring this back to a 1-point ball game.
Yeah, another chance for Aoife Fitzgerald from a free. This one a little bit closer in, maybe just inside the 45 on this occasion. So, worst case scenario, as I said, it may drop in around the edge of the square, and you have the likes of Margot Heffernan inside there waiting for a break. So just feel maybe if Gailltír could get this score and put a bit of pressure then on the St. Rynagh puck out, that it really will come right down to the wire.
Aoife Fitzgerald getting ready to take this. 5 points in the game so far for her. Goes for the shot. It's gone across to the left and wide, and you can just feel it now. This occasion, it was a difficult shot again. It has to be remembered. I think I'm saying disappointed, Elaine, because we're so used to the excellent shots in this contest. We forget they are difficult shots, and they're going to miss the odd one.
Exactly, and we've had so few wides, as you mentioned, that really any of them that we do have now seem like an awful anticlimax to the game. But not easy frees, especially on any day, but especially in an All-Ireland final when it's come right down to the wire.
St. Rynagh 1-8, Gailltír 9 points. Battle for the ball inside of St. Rynagh 65 near her line as Mairead Daly takes possession, tries to move up the field, went out over the line, looked like it was a touch of a Gailltír stick. The linesman there in front of us is John McDonough from Galway. The other side, Liz Dempsey from Kilkenny, both very experienced officials to help out Gavin Dunnigan, the man in the middle from Dublin. As it's St. Rynagh ball, going to be taken by Louise Mannion right in front of us between the two 65 metre lines. And 10 and a half minutes remaining in this game. Didn't get the touch that she wanted. It might work its way towards Mairead Daly. Again, 7 players in there, all fighting for the ball. Kate Kenny, the one on the ground. The referee is going to throw this in again on the Gailltír 65 metre line. Wants the players to get away and let 2 get on with the job. So off we go again. Who'll get control of this? As a substitute for St. Rynagh is getting ready to come on the field. We can tell you that Roisin Daly will be entering the field of play, and she's going to replace Aoife McLaughlin. So a bit of a surprising substitution there, I would have thought. Elaine, a player who got 1-1 going off the field.
Yeah, and Aoife McLaughlin was getting through a lot of work out around the middle of the field and covering a lot of ground. So, poor sideline ball there from Gailltír, but they have recovered.
Gailltír in possession through Shauna Fitzgerald. Shauna Fitzgerald on the left hand side drives it down towards the 45 metre line. Plenty of time and space for the St. Rynagh defence to deal with this, and it's Helen Dolan that brings it away. Crossfield ball in the direction of Siobhan Flannery. Siobhan Flannery and Hannah Flynn is the must-see battle at the moment, but Clodagh Carroll is coming in to help out as well. She's with Gailltír. She wins the foul. The referee waited for a moment, blows the whistle. It's going to be a free out. 9 minutes to go. The scores are coming very, very rare now at this stage. It feels like it's been a 2-point ball game forever. But Gailltír have the free on the 45 metre line, and Clodagh Carroll will get us up and going again with this drive Wants to find a teammate. I think that was more about pinning a player than gaining ground on this occasion. And Gailltír have it, bringing it towards the 45-metre line. Shauna Fitzgerald finds the cousin Annie. Annie Fitzgerald on the 45-metre line, drops it in towards the house. They just need one good ball, bring it back to 1 point ball game. It might come for Ciara O'Sullivan. Ciara O'Sullivan just trying to get a bit of space, finds Aoife Fitzgerald, but she's been pushed back as St. Rynagh's disciplined defending gets themselves wide again, and this ball could drop here now. St. Rynagh's have to be very, very careful. Lana O'Sullivan with a touch there, an opportunity for goal. I'm not too sure was it Anne Corcoran who got the opportunity there off the ground from Alana O'Sullivan, and it's Ellen Gilligan in the way. There was 2 players in there. I think it was Anne Corcoran with the first one, Alana O'Sullivan definitely with the second. Neither materialised for Gailltír. St. Rynagh's cleared their lines, and now can they hit back hard and get a score and go 3 in front? Gailltír, big moment in the game for them. It'll feel worse if Kate Kennedy does something with this ball outside the 45-metre line, up against Kate Lynch. The 2 Kates going up against each other. The referee says too many steps. Elaine puts the head down. But let's go back to the goal chance. Big moment there, because that ball was very hard to see.
Massive moment, but I think Ellen Gilligan got the slightest of touches. What a block from her. We just saw it there just as the ball was being thrown up by Anne Corcoran. Looked like that final punishment was coming, and super block from her, and then to have the composure to go again, work it out again the whole way up. And we feel Rynagh really needed a score at the end of it just to finalise that. But credit to Gailltír, they're All-Ireland champions. They're not going to go down easy, and this is going to go right to the wire.
7 minutes to go, just over 7 minutes to go. Still 2 points between them. Annie Fitzgerald on the run for Gailltír. Thought about going for a shot, thought about picking out a pass, left the ball hanging out for the St. Rynagh's player Mairead Daly, who's come back and helped out the defence an awful lot in this second half. She mightn't be getting scores, but she's stopping a few attacks. However, Gailltír still have possession through Emily Mahoney. Emily Mahoney drops it down in the direction of the D, looking for Alana O'Sullivan. Alana O'Sullivan wearing number 15 is in there. She has support, but it comes back for Alana. Alana turns on her left hand side, sends it in towards the goalkeeper. Ellen Gilligan has it. Has to be careful. St. Rynagh's have defenders there. It looks like it's going to be Sinead Moore, the player that brings the ball out the field, but doesn't bring it out too far. Collision between 2 players. Foul committed against St. Rynagh's. Referee got that call right again, and it's going to be a free out. And St. Rynagh's will be happy to take their time with this, you'd feel. Absolutely.
And on a day when defenders and defences have been on top, St. Rynagh's certainly have been on the top of their game back there. Again, really disciplined on that occasion, and the chances have fallen to Gailltír, but they've been under such pressure from the Rynagh defenders that they just haven't had a clear-cut chance. And they'll be happy now, as you said, to maybe run down the clock a couple of seconds longer here.
You can hear the St. Rynagh's supporters there cheering in the background. No doubt the Gailltír voices will be out just as loud in a moment too. It's 1-8 to St. Rynagh's, 9 points to Gailltír, 6 minutes to go in the 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie finals. The number 6 for Gailltír finds the number 16. Clodagh Carroll to Margot Heffernan. Margot sends a ball across, looking for Shauna Fitzgerald. The St. Rynagh's defender missed it. Her name was Katie O'Connell, and Shauna Fitzgerald trying to get his attack. Gailltír just want to score to set themselves down again, you would feel. Anne Corcoran turns on her right, send it in the direction of Ciara O'Sullivan. Not to be in that occasion. Margot Heffernan gets a touch for Gailltír outside the D, and St. Rynagh's get the bodies in, organise themselves. The referee is not happy. The ball is going to be thrown in. We have just over 5 minutes remaining. It feels like a countdown, but it's all to play for, exactly what we expected here. And the referee wants players away. 2 of them will go in. I can tell you that it's definitely Margot Heffernan is the Gailltír player. She was up against Gráinne Dolan for St. Rynagh's, and St. Rynagh's moving it along the ground again towards the 45-metre line, and they have possession to the Offaly champions, and they're on the move again. Our St. Rynagh's moving down the field is the number 17 Louise Mannion. Louise Mannion moves towards the 45-metre line. This is an excellent attack from St. Rynagh's. Takes the shoulder challenge, gets blocked by Clodagh Carroll, but it's with Kate Kenny. Kate Kenny for St. Rynagh's. A big opportunity for Kate Kenny, and Kate Kenny puts the ball over the bar. 4.5 minutes to go. 3 points between them again. It's 1-8 to 8 points.
And it's probably the first little bit of breathing space she's got from Kate Lynch all day today. She just cut away from her on that occasion just for a split second and showed what she's capable of. Got out, created that space for herself, and a super shot from her, and just stretches Rynagh and maybe puts them in a little bit more of a comfortable position they had been.
I apologise, it's 1-9 to 9 points. The excitement getting the better of me. The supporters well involved in the match. There's a Gailltír player on the ground. There was a few boos for the hold up and play. I don't think Gailltír are going to be slowing things down at the moment. They want to keep things moving. 4 minutes remaining. And I'm just having a look at the player that is on the ground at the moment, and I'll confirm the identity in just a second. But Gailltír definitely don't want to be losing anyone. We're going to have a few minutes of added time. That bit is guaranteed, and we could be getting to the situation, Elaine, that Gailltír will have to repeat the trick and get a late goal if they're going to save this All-Ireland.
Yeah, and it'll be a late goal to try and save it, I think, at this stage, rather than try and win it. You know, they've played second fiddle to Rynagh for a lot of this second half, and you know, as we said at the start, a goal was going to be a crucial score. We've had a couple of maybe half chances, a couple of kind of good chances, but in the end it was kind of a half chance that bobbled over the line barely, that has Rynagh in front, and just gives them that little bit of comfort now coming down the home straight, if you could call it that.
Certainly, and I know I've said it already, but certainly if say Rynagh can get another point. It was Annie Fitzgerald, the player on the ground. I was thinking that, I didn't want to say it till I was sure. Second time she's been down the last couple of minutes. It'd be a bit of concern for Gailltír, but they need to get the next score at least to keep this All-Ireland alive. In possession for them is Emily Mahoney. Down the left for Gailltír, inside the 45-metre line, and Leah Sheridan. She's pushed up in the attack on the 20-metre line. Kate Kenny's back helping out the defence for St. Rynagh. Position Stowe Maher in an All-Ireland final. What matters is your team has the ball, and your team has more scores at the end of the day. And there's two players fighting for the possession outside the St. Rynagh 45-metre line. Gailltír have the ball back, and this will come for Annie Fitzgerald. But Annie Fitzgerald is under pressure as St. Rynagh push the bodies in. Good work in that occasion by Maeve Durley for St. Rynagh. But again, Gailltír fighting straight back. Annie Fitzgerald fighting straight back, and the ball goes out over the line. It's going to be a Gailltír ball. The rain is coming down again. It's perfectly poised.
Yeah, and St. Rynagh have gone back into defence. There's currently, I think, 4 players, 5 including Ciara Jackman in the Rynagh's attacking side of the field. You know, they've pushed all their players back here, and they'll hope if they can get a break, maybe that leads to that insurance point.
St. Rynagh have the ball. They have it through Mairead Daly. The referee says too many steps. Mairead Daly not happy with the decision. Gailltír don't mind. They want to get on with it. Kate Lynch takes the free, sends it down towards the attack, but only finds a St. Rynagh player again, and St. Rynagh on the move. That might well have been Grania Dolan. Either way, it works off a touch inside the Gailltír 65-metre line, and Clodagh Carroll bringing it out, bringing it away from Roisin Daly, and she's now towards the 65-metre line, gives the pass a 1-2. It's back for Clodagh Carroll. Clodagh Carroll, I mentioned already, scored a point in Ireland final. She went low. She might have gone high. She didn't. She went low, and St. Rynagh have the ball back again. And Gailltír fighting, desperately fighting. Anne Corcoran is in there trying to get the ball for the Wterford, for the Munster champions. And it's very hard to see who has control of this at the moment, but you can see them there. Everybody committed, everybody challenging for the ball. The referee blows the whistle, says there was a chop down, and I think it's going to give it a free in.
Yeah, it looked to me like it was a chop from our St. Rynagh's defenders there. Yeah, and they're back on the goal line, so
he was just slow indicating what way this was going. Gailltír have to make a decision. We are inside the final minute of normal time in this All-Ireland final. 3 points between the teams, as you can see. The goal from Aoife McLaughlin. The difference between them. What do you do if you're Aoife Fitzgerald? No doubt she's asked how much time is remaining. Will she go for this? She's not running towards it. She's standing above it. She goes for it. There's going to be 4 minutes of added time. The fourth official must have been listening to me. Aoife Fitzgerald gets the free. We have another 4.5 minutes of this. 1-9 to 10 points.
Yeah, I'm not sure if anyone in the crowd or in the commentary box is able for another 4.5 minutes of this. It's going to be a massive game. And look, at the back of Rynagh's heads, it has to be that All-Ireland final from 22 months ago, and the chance that they could concede a late goal. Their defence have been outstanding so far today, but the pressure is really going to come on now for the next 4.5 minutes.
It's said every game lost is a lesson learned. What have St. Rynagh learned from that occasion? We will see. We know Gailltír have gained the experience. They know what to do, and they're not going to give up, as Ciara O'Sullivan has the ball, but being well marshalled. Rynagh have brought the bodies back, indeed, looking around inside the Gailltír 65-metre line. There's only the goalkeeper and 2 sets of outfield players. That's 5 in total. 25 players out of this match are roughly in front of your screen at the moment, or to the left. That's because St. Rynagh are desperately defending this lead that they have, and Gailltír desperately trying to get inside, but Mairead Daly sends the ball down in the direction of Linda Sullivan, and Linda Sullivan battling with Hannah Flynn. Linda wins the ball, has Kate Kenny if she wants to use her. Mike Gorsev, no, she uses Kate. I didn't see the ball move, but Kate Kenny has it, and she's up against Kate Lynch again. Kate Kenny on the left. This will be a massive score if this goes over the bar, and Kate Kenny could have got the score that could win this All-Ireland title for St. Rynas. There's still 3 in it. There's still time for Gailltír to get a go, but what a score, Elaine, if that proves to be the winner.
If ever there was a score deserving to win an All-Ireland final, it's that one. The jink, the footwork on the side, out on the sideline in the 62nd minute of an All-Ireland final, to even have the shot, let alone to score it, massive, and it just shows the influence she's had for St. Rynas all day today.
What can Gailltír do? There's a reason they haven't asked Elaine her player of the match yet, because we don't know what way this is going to finish up. The referee says it's the free for St. Rynas. On the ground is Louise Mannion. And now they have a chance to slow this down. We have played nearly 90 seconds of the 4 minutes. St. Rynas 110, Gailltír 10 points. Who can St. Rynas get the one last score? The score that will definitely wrap this up. Or can Gailltír find a goal like they did the last time these teams met and save this All-Ireland final? 31 minutes, 46 seconds on the clock. There's a player on the ground. It looks like it's Grania Dolan. The St. Rynas supporters are cheering on their player. They're cheering on their team. The Gailltír supporters are cheering on their team. They still believe. And we wait. There's another substitute getting ready for St. Rynas. Grania Dolan, thankfully, is okay and back on her feet. And Roisin Egan is going to take this free. Gailltír have to win possession. 2 minutes remaining. The substitute for St. Rynas is Aoife Regan. But Roisin Egan sends it down and towards the attack. Gailltír need to be careful, the danger is not gone yet, and St. Rynas have the ball on the 13-metre line. And Marie Daly is it with the opportunity for a shot, and that's the point now. That surely means St. Rynas are going to become the All-Ireland champions of 2020 on the second weekend in 2022. I think it was Marie Daly that got the shot, Elaine. 4 between them, it's game over, really.
Yeah, and fitting for the game that she's had in the second half there. You know, she's popped up all over the field to turn over Gailltír players, and we mentioned the work she was getting throughout around the middle of the field, but to pop up with a score like that in the dying minutes of an All-Ireland final, and certainly what looks to be the insurance point for St. Rynas.
The Stewarts are in their end of match positions. They'll do well to keep supporters off the field of play. If St. Rynas hold out, there's 1 minute remaining. The both teams are making substitutes. Aoife Regan has come on for Louise Mannion. That's for St. Rynas. Clodagh Hochter has entered the field of play for Aoife Fitzgerald for Gailltír. And we wait to restart the action. The clock ticks away. I'm feeling we're going to have at least 1 extra minute on top of the 4 that we were promised. St. Rynas 111. Gailltír 10 points. St. Rynas are finally going to cross the winning line here, but Gailltír, is there time for 2 more scores? They need to get the ball quickly. St. Rynas had possession, but it's one back is Kate Lynch up there in possession. Doesn't work out for them as St. Rynas have the ball through Roisin Daly. Roisin Daly sends it down the field. Gailltír have it back to Aoife Hartley. Aoife Hartley down the left has a player in front. Big moment here for Gailltír. Emily Mahoney. They need to move this quickly, one way or the other. They need a flag at the end of this. Anne Corcoran gives the pass inside. They might open up here something as Leah Sheridan has possession, but St. Rynas getting the players back. She sends a low one inside, but there was nobody there. Nobody from Gailltír to meet it. St. Rynas have the ball. The referee has blown the whistle. And is he given a free in? I believe he is. A foul committed, Elaine. The intrigue, the suspense, the drama continues.
It continues, and I didn't see what the free was for, but I don't see any complaints too much from St. Rynas, but maybe they're just too busy getting back down the field to try and defend it. And, you know, a chance certainly. Gailltír looking back maybe to Ciara Jackman to come from the goal. Has she gone back for an outfield hurl maybe to take a shot? Will she have the time for it?
Well, she came out right now. We're just watching Ciara Jackman off your screen at the moment, and we can tell you that Ciara Jackman has 2 hurls in her hand and she is darting down the field. So Ciara Jackman is coming up to take this free. Well, we think she is, because somebody else from Gailltír is standing over her. When Ciara Jackman is out, maybe she just gets into an outfield position.
I'd say.
So it's Gailltír are going to take this. So what do? Do you go low or do you go high? And Aoife Fitzgerald takes the free. She went low. Didn't get where it needed to be. It's a push on the St. Rynas defender. It's going to be a free out. And that definitely is the last throw of the dice. 5 minutes of added time have been played. St. Rynas in front by 4 points and are about to become the 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie champions. They won't have much time to enjoy this, because they'll be back defending this title in a week or two. A long drive drive down the field. They're calling for the whistle. That's the St. Ryan supporters. Gailltír want more time. Emily Mahoney wants more time. Gives the pass for Leah Sheridan. And Leah Sheridan outside the 45-metre line. Drops it off the shoulder of Fitzgerald. Back for Emily Mahoney. And Gailltír trying to move their way inside. But they can't get too far. They have Anne Corcoran. Couldn't get control of the ball. And Eva Hartley, she wears number 4. Gives it back to Anne. Anne Corcoran on the 20-metre line. But look at the St. Ryan's line of defenders there. Thou shall not pass is what they're saying. Margot Heffernan doesn't look like she's going to be the captain lifting this trophy. The referee has blown the final whistle, and it's all over. And St. Ryan's are the AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Club Camogie champions. A 4-point victory in the end. And Elaine, we have to say, deserving champions.
Certainly defending champions, you know, all over the field. They had outstanding performances today. They were just looked like a team that were never going to be beaten. They were never going to give up. And right from Ellen Gilligan in the goal, you know, she stood firm on the couple of chances that Gailltír got, but, you know, stood firm back there, really, really disciplined from the backs, even down the home straight there when, you know, Gailltír were still hanging in this game, but Rynagh kept the head. And I suppose lessons learned maybe from 22 months ago is that they kept the head, kept fighting and kept going. And look, it was probably an unfortunate goal in the just after half time maybe that kicked them on, but all over I think from the full 60 minutes today they were probably just marginally that better team.
Yeah, we're looking at St. Ryan celebrating on the screen, but I'm looking at Ciara Jackman, the Gailltír goalkeeper. She's on the ground, like she pulled off some great saves in this match, stopped some attacks, but of course she'd be gutted for that goal that was conceded. Yeah,
look, a goalkeeper is a lonely place to be on the best of days, and you know, you are that last line of defence, but look, Ciara can't be too hard on herself. She has had some outstanding days for Gailltír, and again today, and she will have more outstanding days, and look, it's just one of those misfortune on a cold day in winter. Anything can happen, and you know, they had their chances up front as well, but as I said, they just didn't take them today. And on an All-Ireland final day against a team like St. Ryan's, you really, really do need to take every chance you get.
We're going to go down for the presentation, Elaine. Before we go, your top players and your overall player of the match.
Yeah, look, I thought on a day that was outstanding for defenders, I thought in the first half, certainly Roisin Egan for St. Ryan's, and that half back line of Emma Corcoran and Katie O'Connell driving forward time and time again. Elaine Sullivan at full back, then up front Murray Daly got through an ocean of work, and you know, Aoife McLaughlin, while she was on there finishing All-Ireland final with 1-1. From a Gailltír point of view, Clodagh Carroll at centre back I thought was outstanding. She drove forward time and time again today, and look, they just couldn't create the chances. Anne Corcoran tried all day, kept running up front, but just couldn't get that clear-cut chance. But for me, I think Kate Kenny was the standout player. You know, converted every chance she got, missed one free I think, but more than made up for it with a score from the far side here that would go down in the annuals of scores gotten in Semple Stadium over the years. So any day I think you finish an All-Ireland final with, I think it was 9 points, I think you're more than deserving the player of the match. So for me it was full forward Kate Kenny.
Well, we'll hear from Kate Kenny and we'll see Gráinne Dolan pick up the Agnes O'Farrelly Cup in a moment. Thanks to Elaine Aylward for joining me here in the commentary box. I'm Darren Kelly. Don't go away. We're going to get the presentation. We're going to get reaction. That's coming up here in Semple Stadium shortly. St. Ryan's are champions. As Elaine mentioned, our player of the match is Kate Kenny from St. Rynagh, receiving her prize from Frank McGrath from AIB. And Frank, thank you very much for joining us. Kate, I won't keep you too long here. All-Ireland champion St. Rynagh, how are you feeling?
Jesus, I'm stuck for breath now. That was a fairly tight last 10 or 15 minutes, but I'm just so happy that all the hard work we've put in over the last 3 years really has finally paid off, and we can reward our managers for everything on all the work they put into us.
Just tell us about that point at the end. Elaine Aylward described as one of the around the annals of Semple Stadium. You must have felt when that went over the bar that it was going to be your day.
Yeah, I thought he was going to overcarry. I overcarried one right before it, so I just let it hop off the ground. I got it back and I turned. I just said, oh, just shoot and hope for the best. So I just took a shot and yeah, just sailed over the bar, and the crowd was unbelievable behind me. I was delighted.
Okay, I'm not going to keep you any longer. We can hear Wterford, Hilda Breslin there, so I'm going to let you go celebrate. You are the player of the match. Congratulations, St. Rynagh. And again, thanks to Frank McGrath from AIB.
I think we can all agree that there were two fine teams out there today, and the mark of a great they have and the skill, and it was an honour for all of us here in the stands and watching at home to witness two great teams go toe to toe, and I am absolutely without a shadow of a doubt know that Gailltír will be back, and they will be back stronger and back very shortly, I have without doubt. So well done to Gailltír. You hold your heads up high, you are worthy Munster champions. I'd also like to thank AIB once again. AIB has sponsored the club championship for Camogie, and it's a huge commitment from AIB, the work they put in women's in sport, so we'd like to thank them. It is unique that we are part of the GAA club championship sponsorship, and we recognise that and the commitment by AIB to the clubs and to women in sport. I would particularly also like to thank the people here in Semple Stadium today. It's a wonderful opportunity for our players. Our players have a right to play in the best stadium. They deserve to play in the best stadium. And when we have the backing of people like Tipperary GAA and Semple Stadium, that is where they play. So thank you to everybody in Semple Stadium for making that possible. A big thank you to Gavin Donegan and his match officials today. We really appreciate your hard work. It would be remiss for us not today to thank all of the clubs. This year has been a hard year. 2020 was a hard year, and 2021 was a hard year. But our club stood firm. They backed their people, and they backed Camogie. And the result is that Camogie is stronger, and Camogie is growing from strength to strength. And next week when we go out with the 2021 campaign, I have little doubt that it will light up the field just as the 2020 campaign. So well done to all of the clubs and all of the volunteers across the country in Camogie. Without you, we wouldn't have been able to achieve the Games programme. So we commend you and we thank you. It is with enormous honour that I'm going to ask Ronnie Dolan to lift the 2020 AIB All-Ireland Intermediate Cup on behalf of St. Rynagh. I'm going to take a bit of Irish. So I know I'm very wrong, current show doctor, so come on, Dave Rynagh! I am absolutely delighted to be accepting this cup on behalf of these 38 wonderful girls standing in front of me. We had some heartbreak from the last year, and I think we showed the determination, the dedication that this team has. And I can't put into words how much it means to all of us. So I'll start thanks off. I'll try to be quick. I'd like to begin by thanking Semple Stadium for the use of the super facilities here today. Thanks so much to the referee and the Lions men for ensuring a fair and enjoyable game, and well done today. I'd like to thank the Camogie Association, especially during this awful year with COVID, for making sure that these games went ahead. And it means so much to us that we got to finish out the 2020 season. And to AIB for the super promotion and sponsorship of this championship. So thanks so much. To Gailltír, what an amazing bunch of girls we are. Hard luck today. I think you're one of the most honest and hard-working teams that we've ever faced. And not only have an All-Ireland win already, but to be in 3 All-Ireland finals in 3 consecutive years is an outstanding achievement, and so you should be so proud of yourselves. And 3 cheers for Gailltír. Hip hip. Hip hip. Hip hip. I'd like to thank all our sponsors throughout the year. Your generosity is super. You're always making sure that we're kitted out, looking fab and fresh with our new jerseys. Everything that you put into this team, we won't be here without the fundraising and all the support that you give us, so thank you very much. To our State Rivals Camogie Committee, you are an exceptional group of people. There's no stone left unturned with you, and anything we want, anything we ask for, you give it to us, and you make sure that we're looked after so well. I've named people, I forget all your names, so I'm just going to mention someone in particular, and that's Ronnie Byrne, our chairperson. Ronnie, you're an amazing man and a credit to this club. The work you put into this, you go above and beyond. I think you spend more time on the phone doing stuff for Camogie than you do your real job. And you fought so hard for this championship to go ahead, and for that we're so grateful. We won't be here without you today, Ronnie. Next to our amazing supporters, our family and friends. I don't know where we got to. You are just the most amazing group of people. I know I'm very biased, but I honestly think you're the best supporters in all of Ireland. Whether it's bringing a party bus to go to the matches or drinking with us in the pub, we know you're always going to be there with us, and we hope we made you proud today, so thank you so much. To our management, all I can say is thank you so much to Mark, Molly, Declan, Trevor, Trish and Una. The amount of time and effort that you put into this team over the last few years, Mark especially over the last few days, I know with COVID, you became a COVID expert, but he's kept us so safe during this time and made sure that we got here and we were ready. You've made us achieve things that we never thought were possible. And I know it's too cringy to say, but it's so true. And we're so grateful and thank you for everything that you've done for us and the respect that you have for us. So thank you. And lastly, to the 38 amazing girls. You are just so brilliant. I don't think you realise how brilliant you are. And of course, to Natasha as well, who couldn't be here today, we hope we've made her proud. But the work and the commitment that you give is second to none. You're so honest, so hardworking, and everything that's asked of you, you do it. And I think it's the most special group of people I've ever been part of, and I'm so proud of all of us. And I think it's about time I can finally say, but we're all Ireland.
Now it is a beautiful day for St. Rynagh supporters, and I'm joined by the happiest COVID expert based on what Grania Dolan was saying there, St. Rynagh manager Mark Dunn. Mark, first, congratulations. What a victory for your team.
Sorry, Darren,
Say congratulations, what a victory for your team.
Yeah, look, sure, it's huge, especially after losing the last one. I suppose what we'd do to get to here in the first place, but look, it's sweet. It's hard to reflect on it straight away what kind of game it was. At times there was some really good camogie, at times it was a dogfight. Thought it was never going to be blown up in the end, and the nightmares are coming back. But yeah, look, the work them girls have put in, the more than Gailltír and doing it. Like today was our day. Gailltír are a fantastic team. They were fantastic again today. There was probably one moment would have changed the game, and they'll be back stronger again.
We were saying you were deserving winners, but even after conceding the 2 early points to Gailltír, he didn't panic. Roshan Egan went into the hole there as well, and he gradually started overturning things and launching attacks against the wind.
No, we didn't panic, no, but look, I suppose we nearly target making mistakes early in the game now just to get it out of your system. Look, some days we start fast, but there's a good few times we started slow and conceded easy scores, so it wasn't something that was new to us. And I think once we got our structure right in against the wind, they actually probably struggled for a few scores. We were probably not executing maybe the final ball up front ourselves, but in general we were on top. I think after the first 2 points, there was probably a 10-minute spell where I don't think we had a puck out, if I'm right. But at the same time, the quality maybe dropped at times, and getting good ball into our forwards was a struggle. And look, it became very packed in the middle third area, and both teams are maybe struggling to get their forwards on in attacking areas. But look, we got a couple of crucial scores at the end. I suppose when they pushed on, we probably did capitalise on the space a bit more.
2 of those scores at the end were 2 of the finest scores we've seen in Semple Stadium. Kate Kenny and Mairead Daly as well, because it took you a while, I suppose, to build on the goal that you got, but like, what a way to finish it off with those 2 scores.
Yeah, 2 fantastic players. Mairead Daly maintains she doesn't score, but she does, and when she does, they're good ones. But yeah, it was probably, there was probably a phase just before them where we were getting sucked back the field too far, and we lost a bit of shape up front, and it was kind of just, once we got that back and we were just patient, they did kind of abandon the sweeper we'd given them, and we literally had just 1-on-1 from maybe the 14, 30 and 50, and look, we just chipped over a couple of great scores. Now, at the time, I think we were defending excellently. We were giving away maybe some needless frees, stuff like that. But look, they never stopped, which we expected. We learned that the last time, they don't stop. I'd say if we were still out there, they still wouldn't stop. But look, it was what you expect this time of year. Really tough conditions, tough game.
And as you mentioned your defence as well, you were like a wall there, making it difficult for Gailltír. They still got in a couple of occasions. Ellen Gilligan putting off a great double save at one stage as well. But again, I'm probably repeating questions now because the music has died down a bit. We can actually hear each other properly. It was the disciplined defending that laid the platform along with those scores that we mentioned.
Yeah, it was, and I suppose it's really pleasing because that is something we've put a huge focus on it. You know, protecting that scoring zone, be disciplined. And not panicking those last moments, getting our setup right, getting organised quickly, and just being composed on the ball. Like, it's easy when you get sucked back too far to start hitting the ball away and inviting more and more pressure on it. And there was, like I said, a phase where we did go into that trap, but we kind of worked ourselves out of it. But I thought our defending was excellent. But it has to be this time of year because your execution up front is never going to be at as high a percentage in these conditions. So we knew that we had to keep our defence right, keep our shape, and I thought we were very brave in how we did it. And like some of the times we exploded out with ball and just drove out past them. I know we got pulled for steps a lot actually. I don't know how many times.
It did stand out. Finally, Mark, before I let you go, of course, All-Ireland champions, you have to enjoy this, but of course, in the weird times that we're living in, this is the 2020 final. If your 2021 title defence starting next week or the following week.
Yeah, I think it's actually 2 weeks. I hope it's 2 weeks, but I think it was if we
qualified. Council, listen.
Yeah, 2 weeks again, and we've celebrated in the first round, so we also had them in the Leinster final. We definitely won't be complaining. Like, you can look at it 2 ways. I mean, is it hard going? Of course it is, but really, teams train for 10+ years for days like this. And if we have the opportunity of getting back to another Leinster final, getting back to another All-Ireland, and by March have been in 2 of them, I don't think it matters if we have to play 3 games a week. We'll do what it takes. So I think we'll definitely, I think just breathe. I think there was probably massive pressure on ourselves coming into this that look, well, obviously the girls have 5 Offaly titles, 3 Leinster, and lost one of these, so it was a case of get this one, breathe, and we'll look at celebration maybe towards the end of the week. But yeah, it's we'll move on and we'll try and get more.
Mark, congratulations. We're going to let you breathe and enjoy that one. Thanks as well, and well done. A fantastic
Excellent,
victory. And of course, your captain here as well, Grania Dolan. Grania, first, great speech as well. As Mark mentioned, something you waited a long time for. You wait for 10 years for days like today, and you certainly enjoyed that moment.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I know everyone's talking about 2019 and that last goal, and I think we just didn't want to feel that again. That was awful, and I think it just shows the determination we had. Like, we didn't let it deter us at all. We learned from that. Like, that Gailltír team, they're fabulous hurlers, and we did learn from them, even the way they play, and we knew it was going to be tough today, but we weren't leaving here without a win. Like, that's all that we could settle for today, and I'm so glad and so proud of the girls, and it's surreal.
And it has to be pointed out, this was about the work rate. Like, people will look at the goal and the element of fortune in that as well. But you had to respond when Gailltír kept coming back. You had to respond to Gailltír the way they started off both halves of Camogie as well. And it was really down to work rate.
Yeah, we knew, like, obviously, like, there's a skill is a huge part of it, and we know we have that skill, but we know what they're like. We've played them twice, they've bet us twice, and it's truly from their work rate. They're just dogs in the rucks and get everything out, and we knew that that's what it was going to take today to get us over the line. Like, we knew it wasn't going to be going to get any scores easy. We knew anything we were going to get was going to be hard, and definitely, like, I think it was a tough match, but I think that's how we got out in the end. We just overworked it. We just made sure that anytime they got the ball, we got it back off them, and it worked in our favour. And that goal, of course, like, that was I say as lucky or whatever, but as you said, we had to work so hard to keep that goal, that lead, and I think we did that just the right amount.
They showed even at the very start of the match there was no time for settling into this game. 2 points within 40 seconds, and you had to regroup and get yourselves together. But credit to you, as a defensive unit in particular, you did.
Yeah, and I suppose that's the main thing. We could have just panicked, and I suppose we've had matches where in, like, our Leinster plays where they've got a goal from literally the puck, the first throw in, so we know how to get back from that. I know it's not a good thing to have to say, but it's happened to us. We've had the experience of it, so we just know, not panic. Look, it's happened, don't let it happen again. And I think if you panic, that's where they kind of start to get into their stride, and we just didn't let that happen.
And it should be pointed out as well, it's difficult to get to an All-Ireland final anyway. Certainly in intermediate, Leinster is the hardest province of the lot. He had 3 tough away assignments. Granted, the scores came against Eglish, a good Eglish team in the semi-final as well. So he gained that experience not just from the previous games against Gailltír, but you had plenty of questioning of your credentials over the course of this campaign alone.
Yeah, and I think, to be honest, the hardest campaign for us is nearly getting out of Offaly. The talent there at the minute, it's just every match is so hard, and like, I know we have the 5 county titles, but they're some of our toughest matches, and they really prepare us then for Leinster. And obviously, like Michael, for instance, they're always such a tough team, and they prepared us for today. It was nice to have that break over Christmas, because the matches one after another, I feel like we were getting a bit flat nearly, so I think that we had that break. It really stood to us there today, and I think the experience of those matches stood to us there today.
I heard them calling you Grania, so I won't keep you too much longer as well. Finally, before I let you go, what does it mean to yourself personally first and to this team? Because it's hard to get off Offaly, as you mentioned, and of course apologies to Bird, they give you a right test in the county final as well, but you got here.
I think it means the world. Like, it's just like last year or 2019, we knew we could have an All-Ireland. Like, that's, I think, how we were feeling. Like, it wasn't as if we were so far off the mark. We knew we could have one. So it just means the world. I can't even describe it, but it means so much to the club. Like, they, as you could hear them today, like, they love this, and they've so much support. So I hope we just made them so proud today.
You certainly did as well. They were loud supporters, great supporters as well. No doubt you celebrate tonight. Grania, well done. All-Ireland winning captain. No doubt we'll be talking again in the near future.
Thank you.
Wasn't a defensive St. Rynagh thing. I hope I'm not giving that impression when we talk about it, because they attacked very, very well. And of course, we talked about some of those scores. We could spend the next 20 minutes talking about 2 in particular. But as Gailltír chased, Rynagh soaked it up, they knew what to do, and then they found their players, and I felt myself that they often found their players with their clearances much easier than Gailltír did.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Gailltír tried to work it short at times, and just the sheer work rate from Rynagh's turned them over time and time again. And when Rynagh's had to carry it, they carried it out of defence. When they got the strike in, they got the strike. And look, when you have a player the calibre of Kate Kenny up front, you know, she's your target player time and time again. But when Siobhan Flannery came in, Kate Kenny moved out a little bit. I know Mark said they maybe felt they lost a little bit of shape, but it actually just gave them a different dimension again. And look, I think they summed it up perfectly there when they said they just weren't going to lose here today. And I don't think it mattered what it would have taken. They weren't going to go home without that cup. And look, that's down to the heartbreak, I suppose, of 22 months ago, and that lingers over you know, sometimes it lingers over a winter. In this case, it's been left to linger for 2 winters and God only knows what else. So look, I think it's just a massive performance all around, from number one all the way to the subs that came on today. They were just the better team. I think they've probably worked better together for the whole hour.
And as long as they've waited for that opportunity to come back again, they're not going to have much time. Mark just mentioned there 2 weeks time, we repeated the Leinster final against Celbridge, and like there was only 8 points in it on that particular occasion as well. Like, they're not going to get anything easy if they are going to work their way back to an Ireland series.
No, it is a quick turnaround, but look, I suppose that's what you want as a player. Maybe is games, and maybe you'd like a little bit longer maybe to celebrate such a long wait All Ireland final. But it's a huge opportunity, and I think Club Camogie and Club Hurling is that opportunity. You know, you get a golden era in a club that maybe, you know, with a county team you could expect maybe to be contending every year. With a club, you tend to get a bunch of players, a panel of players, and you really need to make hay while the sun shines. And I think Rynagh's grasped that opportunity now, and they'll feel, you know, they'll have a tough campaign in Leinster, there's no doubt about it, but they know how close they were to an All-Ireland 2 years ago. They're All-Ireland champions today, so if you're the best team in the country today, you're not going to give that up for the want of a couple of more weeks training. So I think they have a real chance of doing back-to-back All-Irelands, and what a motivation going back into training later in the week probably.
But not just that as well, Lane, we were talking off air while the presentation was going on, and we've got 2 heavyweights in this division at the moment. Gailltír are not going anywhere. Scarfa Gunla from Clare, by the way, have qualified for a Munster final against Drum and Inch, because Gailltír will be in the Munster intermediate draw. And you just get the feeling that these two will cross paths again, possibly in an All-Ireland semi-final in February.
Yeah, you know, they haven't been too far from one another in the past histories in the last 3 meetings. And look, as you said, it's teed up nicely that if Gailltír can progress through Munster and St. Rynagh get back on course in Leinster again, and they both come out their respective preferences, that we could be here again for another 4th encounter. But look, I suppose that's far from either of their minds at the moment. They'll go back and Rynagh will celebrate, Gailltír will lick their wounds. But you know, it comes around quick again, and they're 2 ambitious teams, and they know that there's literally the puck of a ball between them. So, you know, Rynagh will be eager to hang on to it, and Gailltír will see it as a real opportunity to get back there again. So, you know, really intriguing encounter possibly in the next couple of weeks again.
And there's plenty of Leinster, Munster, and of course Kinvara and English as well. They'll have something to say about that before the season finishes. Elaine, again, just before we finish up, the rain is starting to come down, so we'll wrap up again. As we mentioned numerous times during the commentary, what an advertisement again for Camogie. I feel I'm saying that an awful lot over the last 12 months. Here at the first playing weekend of January, we've enjoyed this, and if tomorrow's game in Moyne Temple Toohey, which your 7 Killian Whelan will be at, is half as good as this, it's going to be a bumper weekend.
Yeah, look, we've been treated to some fantastic games. You know, the senior final just before Christmas, there was another fantastic advertisement for Camogie, and you know, Club Camogie and Club Hurling have really come into their own. It might be December in January, but I think, you know, the clubs have really stood up to the stage, and they've really put on performances the last couple of weeks, and I think it's just a sign of the standard of Camogie in general. You know, it's rising at inter-county level, but it's certainly rising at club level as well, and it's a huge advertisement for it here today, and to have it in Semple Stadium and have it streamed live for everyone who wants to see it is absolutely massive for the Camogie Association, and I know for AIB as sponsors as well, it's huge for them, and you know, it's going from strength to strength.
We thank AIB, we thank Entry as well, and we hope you enjoyed our coverage here from Semple Stadium in Thurles. It's delighted to be in the commentary box with Elaine Aylward again. Hopefully we're looking at these 2 teams or the 2 teams to earn that right in the near future, battling in just a few months time. But the 2020 season is nearly over. Don't forget to join us 2 o'clock tomorrow. Moyne Temple Toohey, Killian and Elaine will be at the junior final between Clonmorris from Kerry and Raharney from Westmeath. But here in Semple Stadium in Thurles, the second of our, or third I should say, of our 4 All-Ireland Club Camogie finals are done and dusted, and for St. Rynagh, they are champions for the first time ever. They'll start their title defence in a couple of weeks' time, but tonight they'll go and celebrate, and rightfully so. But Gailltír won't be far away, and no doubt we'll see plenty of these 2 teams in the near future. Thanks to everybody with the Entry team again. Thanks to Elaine. We are glad that you joined us here in Semple Stadium. We look forward to talking to you again very, very soon. St. Rynagh, All-Ireland champions, beating Gailltír from Wterford on a final scoreline of St. Rynagh 111, Gailltír 10 points.